9 o'clock. Let's go.
Yeah. Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. I gained 10 pounds so quick. I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good. We've been
good.
Good. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derek.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Hey, what's happening, my people? Welcome. I'm glad to see you here. To Let's Chop It Up. Here we are again. As you look around, you see things that look a little bit different tonight. We've got some things going on. Want to give a special shout to our good brother D. Damon. He had a family emergency tonight. His mom is not doing well. And we are hopeful that all will be well with him, and he's he's in our prayers. And speaking of prayers, we're hoping that Kelvin, you can kind of lead us in a little quick prayer for Damon, because he's definitely on our hearts and minds. All right, so if you will, Kelvin, let us have it.
Absolutely. We like the entire Let's Chop It Up family just to bow with us for a word of prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you today. We pray right now for Dee's mom. We ask right now, God, that you just touch her, Lord. I'm asking, God, that you bless her, Lord. You said by your stripes we are healed. I pray right now, God, that you dispatch angels of protection and healing around her right now. Any medical professional that is near her, I'm asking, God, that you use them right now, that she recovers, that she comes back even better than before. So we just thank you in advance. We ask, God, that you hold Dee up right now, God. Just give him strength as he takes care of his mom right now. We just thank you, God, and we believe you, Lord, in advance for what you're going to do. God, you know what we want. We want a miracle. We want a blessing. We want her to be healed right now. In the matchless name of Jesus Christ, we pray. And the people of God said amen.
Amen.
And amen.
All praise due to Allah.
Yeah, so I'm just thank you very much, Kelvin. And we just our hearts and minds and everything that we got is with our good brother D and his family. So on that note, we got that out the way. We're gonna get on with the show a little bit. Again, God bless. God bless, James. Thanks a lot. On that note, hey, we got a show got to go on. We got to see what's going on with you fellas, man. I miss you guys, man. We here, and we got a good brother Ray Thomas with us stepping in. Thank you very much, brother, for showing up and showing out. And what's going on? So D, man. So Damien, talk to me, man. How's everything been going on with you, man? Let's start with you.
Shout out to Damon and his family. I want to make sure that he comes back strong and we have a great conversation next week when he tells us about how his mother is doing fine. I'm looking forward to that moment. But my week has been all right, just trying to keep in shape. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get summer ready. I'm trying to get summer ready by the spring. So I'm doing my exercises. I walked by the mirror, I looked, I was like, oh, I got abs again. What are those? I ain't see those in a little while. So, welcome them back. Just working, getting myself prepared for this change of weather out here in Georgia. But I'm doing all right. Ray, how's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. I'm a hospital healthcare worker. I'm a leader with Local 1199. And just to let you guys know something that's going to be coming real soon that you'll probably hear on the news. I'm quite sure everybody heard about the nurses from Presbyterian, I think it's Mount Sinai and Montefiore, that went on strike for a couple of days. Well, the League of Voluntary Hospitals, which covers most of the major hospital networks in New York, we are going into negotiations with the league to reopen our contract so we can get parity with those nice nurses, because that's our sister union. So you'll be seeing a lot of things coming in the next couple weeks and months regarding labor relations in the healthcare industry.
Good.
Dope,
Right.
man. Dope.
Well deserved.
Yeah, our healthcare
Appreciate
workers
that.
really did their thing, man. You know what I mean? We needed y'all. Y'all really came through for us, during COVID and all of that, man. And we really need that, man. So fantastic. Kelvin, man.
Shout out to Gum City.
Oh yeah, shout out Gum City. What's going on? Yeah, hey
Mhm.
Simone.
Yeah,
Kelvin, man, what's going on with you, brother? Talk to us, man.
the week has been pretty good. The week has been pretty good. I noticed something lately that everybody just has like a short fuse. It just seems like, I'm trying to just stay even keeled. Stuff that's small just winds up blowing up and stuff. So I just want to just tell everybody just to maintain. I know it's kind of crazy, the economy, the weather, all these different things, but everybody maintain. Other day, my car is old school, right? And so I know I need a new car. I know I need a new car. But unlike when I was younger, cars just don't really matter to me like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Like I look
Mhm.
at money in the bank and I want it to like stay there. Like I don't want it to go nowhere. I want to hold it, right?
Pretty
So
quickly. Hmm.
so my mechanic the other day, he was like, "Yo, if you got to get a car, I got this car that I'm selling, and yo, it's a hoopty, right? Now I know
Yeah.
I got to buy a car. I'm probably buy something nice when it get warm, but I got this hoopty, right? And the hoopty, $40 fills this hoopty up. $40. The problem is I'm too big
You
for the
showed
car.
up.
Like I'll be sitting there looking. So yo, I get in the car and I got to pretty much take the seat and go all the way to the back, right? I put shades on so nobody see me in the car. See, it's like I want the I want the benefit of riding the hoopty with the cheap gas. But I don't want nobody see me in this joint. I'll be sitting there at night with shades on. It's looking bad about the crash. So, but I was like, yo, I fell in love with the hoopty. Like the hoop, I took it. I'm about to get me a Benzie box. I'm about to go back to the old school. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Y'all know what
I
it
wasn't
is.
expecting that. I
It's
was not
coming,
expecting that.
Ray. They
Me
did
either.
this to me. They did this to me. The economy tried to play me out. I got some eggs on layaway, so I
He
can't
said a
be.
busy box.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
that's where I'm at right now. So if y'all see me, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like a brother don't work. It's just like, yo, this what it is right now. They
hey,
did this
man,
to me. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what's
But
up.
but
Hey.
other than that, man, everything is good. I'm feeling good. It's good to see the fellas tonight, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you, Kelvin, man. Let me tell you something. I am the hoopty, absolute hoopty master. Let me tell you something. Nobody got it on me, man. I'm telling you, I ain't had a car note in since forever.
Yo, I
I
don't
done-
believe in car notes. I'm with you. I'm with you.
no, I'm
I'm
not
with
feeling
you.
them at all, bro.
I'm
You know what I'm
with you.
saying? Listen,
I'm
man,
with
I'll
you.
go ahead and I'll do my repairs. That's my car note, bro.
Word.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
truth.
That's what it is. You
That's
know,
Yeah.
listen, ride well in your hoopty. Matter of fact, pick me up. You know what I'm saying? We do what we gotta do. I'll ride
that's
with you. I
right.
got your back, bro. I'll stand in the gap for
For
you.
real, for real.
What year is it, or and what make is it?
Oh, come on, Ray. I'm
Yeah,
your
I need
brother.
to
I'm
know.
your brother.
If
All
you talk
right,
about a
yo,
busy
because
box, we
y'all,
got to know details.
yo, all
Is it a
right.
Saab? Is it a Maxima?
Let
A
me.
Toyota?
No, I got to work up to those. What it is. All right, y'all gonna laugh. All right, the joint is a '05 Toyota Corolla. That's what it
Oh
No,
is.
no,
that's
that's no,
that's
that's what's
classic
up.
hoopty.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's classic hoopty.
for
Yeah,
real,
see,
for real.
that's
Yo,
what's up.
and see, you know what it helps me realize? We ain't got to go too much further with technology. I'm trying to get rid of the tape deck and get a CD put in it, right? And if I get the mini, that's what I'm saying. The next year they was gonna come out with a horn. They don't have that yet, but they gonna come out with a horn next time. And then
I'm just
I'm gonna
trying
work
not
up
to
to
get
the
a
seat
scroll.
belts. The seat belts, I'm gonna try to get the seat belts later. I'm saving for those.
Save it up for those.
What did I
I'm
sign
just trying
myself
not to
up
get a
for?
scroll. I'll just be quiet, listening and
Oh
cheering y'all on. I
man.
support it. I support it.
Come on,
Yeah,
Damien. That's right.
man.
You're supposed to be about the people, brother. You
Yeah,
ain't
I
about that
am. And you know what it
capitalism.
is? We're going to stay in hoopties until we could all get the new Tesla
look,
58s or
man.
whatever they're going to be when
Ride till
at
the
some
wheels
point.
fall off, baby. Let me tell you something.
Exactly.
Ride till the wheels fall off. That's my hey, listen, that's my motto. That's my modus
You're
operandi.
going to be like Fred Flintstone, stopping it with your feet, Derek?
Absolutely, bro. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's my brakes. You see my feet down at the
That's when
bottom,
you know
bro.
Derek got the ashy back of the heel.
There
Word.
you
Because
go.
that's when
Oh,
you
yeah.
you got to keep it rough
We go
and strong to be able to
listen, man. I'm
stop on
telling you.
concrete.
I'm
But see, you know
telling you.
what? When you said a Corolla, first thing came to my mind was like when you was getting growing up, that was like maybe mom's car, and you would ask her to
Yep.
borrow the car. It was something small like a Toyota, something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So that's why I'm saying that's classic hoopty right there. That's
That's
But
all
yo, yo,
good.
yo, I'll be embarrassed until I pull up to that
No
gas
man.
station. At that gas station, yo, I'm running things at that gas station. Everybody's still there. I'll be finished pumping in 2 seconds. I'm done. I'm like, this what y'all be doing? I get out first. That's what
Hey man, Corolla $20 probably still fill that up, boy.
Word
I'm
up.
telling you, that little tiny
In-
truck,
Yeah.
man.
instead of parking lot pimping, you gas station pimping.
Think I'm not.
bro.
I'm just chilling. But yo, nah, it's good, man. You know, you already know. But I got to buy something though, because I can't be seen like this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got them shades on. I got them shades on. And then with the COVID mask, I'm Gucci. Like
Oh
nobody.
Don't
man.
nobody know you, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
It's terrible. You know what the if you don't got a mask or shades, you know what they do? They put the hood. The younger people put the hoods on and they pull it
Yeah.
really tight. So
Yeah.
you might be out in the
But
streets
yo,
without some
I
shades.
know I'm gonna run into somebody I know. I know it'll be like ex-girlfriend. She like, oh, I made the right decision.
He doing bad.
Oh,
He
no.
doing bad.
Just
He doing
hope
bad.
that person don't like going live because you know what's gonna happen. Oh, this is
they
Kelvin. We used to go out back in the
He
day.
fell
Look
off.
at the wheels.
That he
He
fell
ain't
off.
got
That's
no
exactly what they're
seatbelts
gonna
in
say.
front. Like
He's smoking or something.
he had more money when we was dating. He must have got on the drugs.
Well, he on that stuff. You know he on that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, man. But yeah, you listen, man. Be proud with your whip, man. Be proud with your whip.
We
Whatever
got to get
you're
him
doing,
on Judge
consistent,
Mathis.
You know?
So
He need help.
Derek, you running the point tonight. How I feel running the point. You
Yeah,
at the
I
point.
don't know, man. I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm all right, man. You know, I'm trying to just do my job. I'm trying to fill it for my boy, man. And I'm hoping all is well. What's going on? The T with D and B gas station
Gas
pimping.
station
LOL.
pimping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what it
absolutely.
is.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah,
everybody in the
shout out to
comments too.
everybody.
There's
Shout out
been
to
a few
Shauna.
comments.
Shauna.
Yeah.
Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out everybody, man. Thanks
Don't
for
be shouting out Shauna. She just came home. She didn't ask me if I needed help or nothing.
Ooh, just quick. This is the oh yeah.
Yo,
Shout out
Yeah,
to Quincy Cops. This is, one
yeah.
of the young men who was in my mentoring program. I want to shout him out and his brother
Yo,
Ransom.
what
He's
up?
in
What up?
college now, doing great things. You know, we all wish him the best. We all support him. He's a great young man. His brother's amazing.
Nice.
You
Nice.
know,
dope.
I always wish the best for them. And they can always reach out to me. So I just wanted to
That's
shout him out.
what's
He stopped by to say hello. That's
Nice.
amazing. That's
Nice.
amazing.
Nice.
It's a good feeling.
I got to tell you
dope.
one last thing on this thing. What bothered me is the car. I'm trying to keep it on low. This joint got an alarm that go off if you go near it. I'm like, why is there an alarm on this car? Don't nobody want this. That's what killed me. Somebody will wind up taking the alarm and leaving the car.
I could put this on my back door of my
I
house.
sit
It's
there
good.
with
Oh
cloth seats. Who had this car with cloth seats with alarm on it?
man.
If somebody break in, it's to leave a donation. Talk about some. I mean,
They break it in to leave you money, bro. This
I'm sitting there trying to be.
in this damn Corolla.
I'm trying to be on the low. They're showing, I'm like,
brother out.
You go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord
You gonna
Jesus.
catch a mechanic in there under the hood fixing stuff?
Oh,
right.
man.
Be like, what you
Imagine-
doing?
imagine me calling the cops. Somebody stole my Corolla. Come on, son.
Oh man.
Come on,
For
son.
real,
This must
for
be an
real.
insurance job. Ain't nobody stole no Corolla.
Y'all got my eyes tearing up with this old school hoopty thing, man.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody be like, no, I'll start
Somebody
getting
gonna break
rid
in
of
and leave you money.
right? That's what I'm saying. Somebody be like, I got an electric bike. I don't need that.
He
You
said,
know,
"This brother got
man.
needs right now. Help him out." For real, man. But yeah, man. You know, I think everything's been good. Oh, shout out James Short. Thanks for calling, for checking out too, brother. That's my good brother right there, James Short, man. All right. Yeah, man. You know, everything's been good with me, man. I just been hanging in. Speaking of hoopties, I'm trying. Listen, hoopty masses in effect. I've been trying to just fix hoopties forever because this flood came through and tore up all my hoopties, bro. So what happens? I went out and went hoopty shopping. I went out, came up on a nice little 2008 Buick Lucerne. All right, and then I got
feel that?
yeah. Then I got my truck back on the road. Now I just helped out my little baby girl about my goddaughter's her Toyota Camry. Anything Toyota, I'm gonna tell you something. Anything Toyota, that's my number one car for hoopty status. Let me tell you,
doubt.
Toyotas, they are bulletproof. If the zombie apocalypse comes tomorrow, I'm looking for the Toyota so I can start it up and get up out of here. Them bad boys start every single time.
I'm with
you know what I mean?
Derek,
But yeah,
Derek, I
what's
noticed
up?
you in a different space. Last couple of weeks, you was somewhere else.
Okay, so let me tell you something. I don't spend my money on cars. I spend my money on homes. See, I'm in the West Wing right now, so you know, so I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm just showing off a little bit. You know what I mean? Show you around. You know, I'm gonna probably do an episode of Cribs or something. I don't know, man. Nah, not really.
Yeah, Derek House is fly. I ain't gonna front. Derek House is fly.
Nice.
It's not. It's all right.
Oh, shout out to C-Dub at the gym watching, supporting.
Okay, that's what's happening. What's happening? Hey, I got a question. What you thinking about Amber Rose said to her son. What she say to her son? I'm not really sure. I guess we probably get into that. I don't really know what that is, James. Maybe you can let us know.
Oh, I know she had a son.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but yeah, but listen, we're here again. Maybe I guess we can go on ahead and what's been going on lately. Um I guess we can get right into it. We
Let's
can
do
start
it.
talking about the big thing that's happening, that's coming up. We talk about this Super Bowl, man. Who we got, man? What are we thinking about it? What are our thoughts? What's going on with it? You know?
Can I set this off? I am going for the black quarterback. I'm always going for the
Okay.
black quarterback. Let's start there. Let's start there.
Yo, I was talking to D. He going for the darker quarterback. I'm like, D, you just got to be something. He just got to do something.
Listen,
I was gonna say
with,
scroll him, but nah, we're gonna leave it alone for now. We're gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chiefs, and the reason I'm going with the Chiefs is I think Travis Kelsey will go down as the best tight end in NFL history. He's a bad man.
Yeah, I think he right
Kelsey
there.
is a bad man.
Yeah,
I think he right there. He's definitely right there. I agree.
I'm hearing that KC is more top heavy, but the Eagles might have the better overall team
Yes,
for
definitely,
all phases of the game.
definitely.
So do you think this the star power, the top heavy team is gonna just win out? Because I look at the playoffs in football as like a marathon, and it tends to be like the healthier team that has a just more impact players generally tend to bring it out at the end of the day, unless you just have a Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Somebody who's just different level, just to, and that's what Mahomes is. But
Well, you have that with Mahomes. We got a high ankle
Yeah.
sprain, so you got to take that in consideration.
Right.
He's a magician. He can get around, but with that high ankle sprain, that's tricky. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The other thing you got to understand is this: the Super Bowl is usually not the best environment for a football game. It takes them
Yeah.
out of their usual routine. They don't usually play at 6 o'clock at night. They don't
Right.
usually have just about a half-hour halftime show. It takes them. It's so much of an event that a lot of teams get there with tickets for their families and stuff like that. They got too many media obligations. Remember, we was kids. The games was horrible. It'd be like 43-7 and all those blowouts. At least in modern times, it got really, really good. I'm an AFC guy, although my team is never in the Super Bowl and barely ever in the playoffs. I'm an AFC guy, and I hate Philadelphia. I can't stand Philadelphia fans. That's why I want them to lose, because I'm tired of the foolishness. And as a Jet fan, we have never in
I'm
our
a Jets
history.
fan.
You're a Jet fan too? All right, so we
Big.
can just pray, because
Man,
I'm with you. Yo, we coming though. We coming.
So I just want to point
We're
this
not
out.
coming.
The
Sorry.
Jets use a light green color, and Philly uses a darker green color. Is there some colorism going on with
Philly
the
is
team?
whack. Philly's green is whack, and the eagle wings on the side is black too. It's about the Jets. The Jets need the old 1980s JETS helmet with the plane on it. That's what they need. The old school. Give me a little Al Toon, Wesley Walker. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's good Jets right there, man. That's good Jets right
You know
there.
what the Jets really need is new ownership.
That's true.
They get players when they're past their prime, on the 1 foot out the door, and they make bad picks.
Well, Ray, you got to admit though, last year though, Joe Douglas put it down with Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. We got the
defense
best
was solid.
class. Yeah,
the defense was solid, but the offense, the two quarterbacks, White and Zach, whatever the hell his name is, they were terrible.
Well, let me tell you something. You know who fault this is? I got to bring it up, Ray. You know who fault this is? Look no further than to Derek. Because Derek ain't want Trevor Lawrence. Derek want to win the game against the Rams. So
Derek to win the game.
That's right. Derek said you ain't gonna give. Yeah, Derek said you ain't giving me no franchise quarterback for 15 years. Oh no.
You said Jets, right? How you even gonna recognize them if they don't do Jets things, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like this is how we do it.
But Ray, I wanted Trevor Lawrence, Ray. Trevor Lawrence
is not
Zach
a Jet,
Wilson
bro.
Zach Wilson not even a scrub yet. He got to practice to become a scrub.
Exactly. He's terrible.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
I noticed how we just spent the last 5 minutes with two Jets fans talking about the Jets, and no Jets player is even smelling the Super Bowl right now.
We got PTSD.
3 Jets fans, because here's the deal. Now I got some backup. Normally I'd be quiet and whatnot, be sitting in the corner, like,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? But now my chest is out. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I got some backup. So now, yeah, the Jets.
So
Yeah, you see the three of us. This is years of losing.
Now,
We know what it is.
my two of my closest cousins and their father are all Jets fans. So imagine my understanding of y'all three. It might just be a family
But
reunion
see,
for
that's
me.
the problem, though. That's what bothers me. When a father passes down the Jets to his kids. See, that's where you're
Oh,
wrong.
That's
man.
abusive.
That right there, yeah, that's wrong. I
That's
saw
abuse.
a man with an infant with a Jets thing, and I said, the boy could be something. Why doing that? Why? It's too late for us. But this boy have a future.
Don't ruin the children.
That's what I'm saying.
Think of the children. Think of the children. Absolutely.
But no,
Yeah,
I got
it
Kansas
has
City.
been
Ray got
painful.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got
Rams
I
got
might
Kansas.
go out on a limb, and I think because of that high ankle sprain, unless they protect Mahomes, somebody's gonna get at him. And I think they're gonna go
Philly's
at him.
coming. Philly, they said
Right. And if they hit him, I don't know what's gonna happen if Mahomes, he got to take off, or he need to rest, so they got to tape
Well,
him
that's
up.
what he does. He takes off.
Yeah.
And he's a big play quarterback. There's no doubt about that.
He the first quarterback I've ever seen with no look passes.
Yeah, you saw that. He does that all the time, like it's part of the game plan.
He's like a point guard. He throw no
That's
look
not-
passes.
You sure Eli Manning don't do that? Because he throw a lot. He used to
I'm
throw a lot of interceptions.
Whoa. Easy.
He just throwing it.
We
don't know who's
don't like
catching
to
it.
hear
He's
about the
all
Giants.
Oh man. Listen,
Jets fans
man.
don't like to talk about conversation about the Giants, man. Get them the F up out of here.
The Giants is like that girlfriend, man, that you were supposed to your mother keep asking about. You know what I mean? The one what happened to baby girl? Oh, what's her name? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what happened? She got a good man. She off with a doctor. She married a doctor, the whole nine. Now you got the chain smoker. You know what I mean? That's
the chain smoker.
You know what I'm saying? Your girlfriend, she got the husky voice like she been smoking Newports. Yeah, come on, man. But
y'all gonna have me taking a Xanax before I go to bed, man.
That's the Jets, man. Listen, man. But speaking of point guards, man. Speaking of point guards, let's talk about your boy Kyrie, man.
Yes.
I see a lot of hatred on the left of this screen. What's all this hatred for?
What are we thinking about Kyrie? What are our thoughts on Kyrie, man? Who wants to set this off?
Whoever want to go be nice, go first. You don't want me to do it.
I'll go first. Stephen A. Smith said it right. Kyrie's a great player, but he's a head case and he don't show up for games.
Wait. Wait, say that again.
Kyrie Irving, great player, but he don't show up for games.
Okay.
Wait, you said Stephen A. Smith said it right? You might be the first person in the last decade to say that.
Doesn't matter. He said it. I agree with him. Kyrie missed more games this past season than he needed to miss because of some off the court antics or whatever you want to call it, his positions, which he's entitled to. But you took the money, you signed the contract to play, you didn't play as much as you should. And I got a problem with that.
No. Well, to be fair, Kyrie never plays. The man never played a full season in college. The man has never played a full season in the NBA. Kyrie either is going to get physically hurt or then he emotionally hurt, when they stormed the Capitol. He couldn't go to work, because
then Kyrie enticed those other guys to come to Brooklyn, though. He enticed those other players to come to Brooklyn so they could accomplish something, and then he folded or reneged on his part of the obligation, and he wasn't prepared to play. They were. Right, wrong, good, bad, and different.
I agree with you. I'm not going to say Kyrie is the most selfish basketball player I've ever seen. Kyrie is the most selfish sports figure I've ever seen. I'm talking about across the board, really.
That's fair.
And the boy, I think he has a problem. I'm serious. I think he has a problem. Dead serious. He got to that press conference with the Mavericks talking about, I did my part. I did my job. You don't ever be there. Yeah, and let me tell you about the vaccine thing. See, I don't mind the fact he didn't take the vaccine. You know what bothered me? If they said you didn't have to take it, he'd be the first one to get it. In other words, whatever way everybody go, he go the other way. That's all it is. And guess what? He gonna tear up Dallas locker room, and then in July he going to the Lakers to tear up their locker room. And every time he leave a team, it's always them. Boston, good young talent in Boston. Good young talent in Boston. Well, let me ask you a question. You do me this favor, Damien. Name the superstar that's been traded in their prime as much as him. Not left for free agency, been traded.
He asked to be traded. I don't know. I don't check people's trade, but if you're talking about selfish superstars, when has there not been a superstar in sports that wasn't selfish?
False equivalency. No, see, I'm not gonna let you do that, Damian. I'm not gonna.
I'm just asking because you're saying he's the most.
Magic Johnson.
He wasn't selfish?
No.
Or maybe not on the court.
Question asked and answered. Question asked and answered. Now back to Kyrie.
Okay, so
Kyrie
Magic Johnson.
Wait, hold up. Let me say this. So this is what I'm saying. So Kyrie Irving, the Knicks all but had Durant signed. Kyrie Irving tells Durant, "No, let's go to Brooklyn and start our own legacy, do our own thing." So Durant leaves Steph Curry, come to Brooklyn following Kyrie. First mistake, right? Go to Kyrie. Then they bring in. Let me say this. So Kyrie and Durant, they want a coach that they can control. They bring in Steve Nash. Then they want Nash fired. Kyrie said, "We don't need a coach, right? We don't need a coach." Then they'll sit up there. They get James Harden, bring him in. James Harden's sick of playing with Kyrie. He leaves and he forced his way out to go to Philly. Right. Then Durant asked for a trade. He wound up staying because he had 4 years left on his deal. He just signed. Then you know what happened with Kyrie? After surviving the whole Hasidic Jew thing, you know what happened? It got too quiet. Everybody's playing too well. It was just about basketball. And Kyrie said, "Oh, it's time. It's time now because I need to go get a max contract for this franchise that has paid me all of the money and I barely ever play."
Well, they actually didn't pay him all the money, but we're not gonna get into that. So
what money did he not get? What money did he not get on his contract? What money did he not get?
We're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone.
He got a big deal though.
This will be a 30-minute back and forth, and I'm trying to leave it alone. And I'm just gonna say I respectfully don't support Stephen A. Smith's opinion on most things because he suffers from this. No, I'm not gonna say it because I'm not gonna get scrolled. He suffers from Bush League coonery. I think he has a lot of issues that he needs to deal with. His opinions, I respect the fact that he's a human being that has opinions. I don't agree with him. Do I think Kyrie has issues and troubles and people can complain about him? Yes. You can complain about any famous person that's been coddled their whole life. He's making decisions. If a team is going to pay you what you asked for, you can't be mad at the person who asked for it. Right? Because if this was Chandler Parsons getting $128 million and then getting injured 3 days later and not playing and collecting on, nobody says anything.
Well, let's say this. NBA contracts are guaranteed. But NBA contracts are guaranteed, so these guys get paid whether they get hurt or not. So that's not the issue. The issue is this. So what did he do? Tell me this thing, Damian. What did he do to deserve a max deal right now? Tell me. He doesn't play, and he always hurt.
I don't have to debate what anybody deserves. If they ask for it and somebody's going to give it to them, that's what they deserve. That's what we've had this conversation before, and you've said that to me.
What
if somebody asks for? If they say I want a max contract and somebody's going to give it to them?
But Damian, what I'm saying is this: what I'm talking about, Kyrie Irving has made a lot of money for times he didn't play, and he's always hurt, and he's always controversial. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is this: right now, are the Nets within their right to say we'll wait to see how the rest of the season plays out, then offer you a deal? If Kyrie Irving would have finished the season, made 1 or 2 rounds in the playoffs, they'd have paid him a max deal in July. But guess what?
I completely agree with you on that.
You can't, but he can't do it. He can't do it. Is there something that says, because he's like, name the other superstar that got to go into their last year. Name the other superstar that got to take off because they stormed the Capitol. Name the other superstar they got to take off because it's windy outside. Name the superstar that, they fighting in Ukraine. I can't play tonight. In other words, whatever it is, it got to be something. So what I'm saying is the people, like, we paid you everything that we could. We want to at least see something. Can we get something, some return on investment? No, I got to move because y'all ain't willing to give me a 4-year deal right now. I'm going to go somewhere else so I can tear up their locker room and not play. Now, he played probably tonight. I guarantee you, before this week out, he got a sore shoulder. Let me ask you, my eyelash hurt.
Let me ask you a question, because I don't really follow basketball ever since, the rules have been lax and these guys are traveling, palming, and carrying, doing all that other fugazi stuff. Has Kyrie played a full year within the last 5 years?
He ain't played a full year in a video game. The man don't never play a full game. Never.
Kelvin has a very specific.
I'm not even having that. I'm not having the J Will. It's personal. Don't mean nothing to me. What it is he an idiot. And let me tell you something about Damian. And let me tell you something about D.
This is the most I've ever seen him fight anybody.
If Kyrie was white, they'd be all in. They be all in it. Do it. Say it in other words. We grade on a curve in our community without question. We grade on the curve. It's no question in my mind. We grade on a curve.
And every other community does the same.
Yeah, but they ain't on this show, and we know what it is. Kyrie, no,
We
that's it. We do that because in other words. So what happens is the narrative is Stephen A. Smith, he a coon, so he talking about Kyrie because he black, whatever like that.
The narrative,
but why he not knocking Damian Lillard?
I'll say this.
Damian Lillard.
If I have an opinion on Stephen A. Smith, it's not because he speaks negatively about one or two people. It is the consistency with what he does for year in, year out, and the way he always coddles and supports any white person that is accused of doing any wrongdoing. He does not have the same energy for anybody who is not white. Like for anybody who's white. So if you hear him go at any, there was a white football player that beat his black girlfriend to almost death.
Oh, yeah,
and he did not have the same energy for that as he does a player. No, that's
I don't disagree with you, but he made one point about Kyrie Irving, and I thought it was a valid point. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan at all by any means. I don't want to make that seem like I'm endorsing Stephen A. Smith. I'm just saying what he said about Kyrie, I agree with.
Yeah, listen, you can never listen. You're never going to get a full you're never going to get a full year out of anybody now because of how they're doing it. They're just resting guys now. That's just part of the game. You know what I mean? They call it. It's just the way it is now. Back then before they would give a guy 35 minutes a game, but he played 82 games. You know what I'm saying? Now you play 40 something minutes, but you take a game off here and there. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is now.
But what y'all keep failing to realize, y'all not gonna think. So let me just say this. Explain this. So Kyrie gets to Brooklyn. And when he gets with Durant, this is the first time I played with somebody that I trust to take the last shot.
He says a lot of wild stuff.
There you go.
Because LeBron had a lot of game winners with Kyrie.
Point. But you know what? It's Kyrie, so all forgiven. That's what I'm saying.
No, I didn't forgive him for anything. But
so why did he say that exactly?
Listen,
I don't know.
The moderator is trying to switch it up.
We're gonna talk about something else.
All right, point guard. I'll put it back to the point guard. Get back to the point guard.
Listen, while we on it, LeBron, Kareem. LeBron went ahead, number one scorers. Got the record of all time. You know what I'm saying? Past Kareem or what have you. He's the GOAT.
No.
Stop that bullshit.
Thank you for stating the obvious fact, Derek.
Stop that
Thank you for stating the obvious fact. I think it's going to be the right side of the screen versus the left side of the screen tonight. We're going to go.
Damien.
Oh my God.
Damien.
We got a producer.
Damien.
He been smoking. Producer been drinking. What's going on?
Damien, you're not going to take something subjective to the obvious fact. Let me tell you something. Okay. He is probably the most accomplished basketball player. Okay. To me, he's not better than Jordan because that's what this is about.
He can never be better than Jordan.
This is about
better
Jordan.
or worse is fully an opinionated discussion, right?
No. The fact that can't be disputed.
How you say no?
Well, you're the one that said stating the obvious fact. You used the word fact when Derek said.
If you say he's the greatest player of all time, we're talking about greatness.
To me, that's what I'm saying. To me, he's the greatest player.
Right, but if you said he's better, that's an opinion. You said he's the most accomplished basketball player of all time.
LeBron is objectively the greatest.
That's why when you see the scroll, it says the opinions.
He's not.
He's not the record. He's
not. What defensive accomplishments does he have? Jordan has accomplishments on both sides of the ball.
Let's talk about his offensive accomplishments.
All defense.
He's not a better offensive player than Michael. You think LeBron's a better scorer than Michael Jordan?
So wait.
All right, Ray. I ain't gonna go there. Bomb.
Can we focus the discussion? Let's pick one topic and focus on it because
go ahead.
You said defensive accomplishments. LeBron was considered one of the best defensive players in his prime.
Considered. Michael Jordan.
So you're saying Jordan is the best defensive player?
How many times does Michael
Jordan has more
all-team
defense than
how many times did he lead the NBA in steals?
How many
finals MVPs did Michael Jordan have? How many scoring titles did Michael Jordan have?
Right. So you're talking about accomplishments. Wait, you're talking about accomplishments, correct?
No,
even though we just admitted that LeBron James is probably the most accomplished player of all time, Because now we could go
I
talk
just don't
into
think
the
he's
things
the
that he's
best player
doing.
of all time.
Scoring is not a totality of a career. Scoring, he might be have the scoring.
He's top
and
10 in
I put
assists.
an asterisk.
Oh,
I
top
put
5
an
in assists.
asterisk.
Top 10 in rebounds.
Top
Top
10.
10.
I'm talking about top period. Number 1.
What is Michael Jordan number 1 in? He's not a number 1 in points. He's not number 1 in any
Finals
statistical category.
MVPs.
I don't think he's number
He
1 in
led the
MVPs
NBA in
either.
steals.
Well, that's why I don't think I make
How
this
many
about
does-
number
how
one.
many
I think
does
I make it
Bill
about
Russell
Right.
have?
is the argument between y'all want to go
How many
Kareem
does
and
Bill
LeBron,
Russell-
or you
how
go
many
Michael
does
and
Bill Russell
LeBron?
have?
What do you want? Because what I'm saying is this: like, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Who has the most yards running in football, running back? Emmitt Smith, right?
Emmitt Smith,
better?
I
right?
think
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's better?
Yeah.
Barry Sanders. So sometimes you
That's
can
why I
be-
said
sometimes you can have the
better.
record, and that. So to me, Michael Jordan,
Barry
to me,
Sanders was more. was
Michael
more-
Jordan is a better player.
Barry
This
Sanders
is the
was
way I
more
look at it, Derek.
entertaining.
This is the way I look at it. Michael Jordan to me is the better
Was he more
player.
effective?
LeBron James is a better person, and that's how I look at it.
Oh, that's
So
no
now-
question.
Can we
No question
use
about
the
that.
same
Let's go
logic,
according to
right? The
that.
same
Exactly.
logic. Would you say that Emmitt Smith is the greater running back because
No.
he has the records? Or you
No,
would
it's just
so
the more
better and greater
accomplished
are
one.
the equivalent in your opinion, or similar in your opinion?
No, what I'm saying is this. In other words, you could be the record holder, and that doesn't mean you're the best to me. In other words, Barry Sanders
Right.
to me
you.
is a better runner.
I
Right.
agree
Well,
to
that's all I
you.
can speak for is me. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah.
Kelvin, I'm
but-
agreeing with what you're saying. I'm
Right.
trying to get an understanding. When we talk about greatest of all time, we're not arguing better or worse. You get what I mean? Like we're arguing the greatest.
Okay. So this is the thing. What I'm saying
That's
is
what I
this.
was getting.
What,
Yeah.
this is no. This is
Stop
this
that.
is
Stop
this,
that, Derek. Stop
this is
that.
what I'm saying. At the end of the day, first of all, the term
the
GOAT
Kung Fu, you
is
saw that,
too
right?
cliche now. The
Yeah.
term
Yes.
GOAT is too, because people are like, oh, he's one of the GOATs, whatever. Well, if you're going to be greatest, it can't be multiple greatest. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. To me, Michael Jordan's the best player I've ever seen play, in my opinion. That's just it. And then I actually would take Kobe over LeBron. And that's
I
not
would
a diss,
too.
I just would. I
would
enjoyed.
too.
I thought Michael and Kobe were more entertaining. I think now I'll say this about LeBron. I think there's nobody that came with more hype and lived up to it than him. I mean, what he's
definitely.
done over 20 years is unbelievable. What he's done with his body
No
is
question.
unbelievable. What he does off the court. Because let me say this: I thought Kobe and Michael was both jerks. Just to be honest with you,
They
And
were.
just
They were
because
assholes.
Kobe died, don't
I
mean
see
he
you,
wasn't a
Michelle.
jerk.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
They were.
I see
Right,
you, Michelle.
but when it
Michelle
comes
Turner, may I read this comment? I'm sorry, I
Michelle
don't mean to
Turner,
cut
she
you off.
said,
I think it was my responsibility to read the comment. Let me read this comment by Michelle Turner. LeBron is the only GOAT.
Who?
Oh, thank you for that comment. I
Listen,
just wanted to read it out loud. I'm sorry. I apologize, Kelvin. Please continue.
You can go on YouTube right now and look and search LeBron James traveling videos and see he got a lot of points he should not have gotten.
Well,
I
no,
see
I'm
one-
going to say this.
They don't
Ray,
call
this
it
one
traveling
gets
no
me.
more.
Jordan
This
did
one
the
concerns
same
me.
The game
Well,
is
that-
over.
These
That's
are
what
two
I'm saying. They
things
don't
that
call
get me.
traveling. So why are you getting credit for those points? Is
There's the two things
still in the
that-
rule book? Is traveling still in the rule book? Should it be called? Should it be called?
It should.
How about
It should.
Byron, let's-
This is what I
Yeah,
didn't
last-
like. I'll say this: what I didn't like. I do not like the idea
His
of
last
leading
championship,
teams to go play
Utah.
with other stars to get rings.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
liked
that's
that.
not
That's
cool.
the one thing that I
So-
did
So
not like
can
that.
we at least be honest that the players in the NBA actually fought and negotiated for that right, and they're exercising their right? That is a fact. So I can
You're
understand
saying
the
is that
opinion,
legal to
but
do
they
it?
fought for that freedom to exercise their rights as free agents
I am aware
when
of
they
that.
don't have to be
I'm-
beholden to a team.
I'm aware
You
of
remember
that.
Scottie Pippen signed a 10-year deal for like $12 million?
Right, and that Scottie Pippen voluntarily signed that, right? And first of all, I'm aware of that, and I've taken that in consideration. It doesn't change my statement. I do not like
Teams voluntarily give them the money.
I don't like stacking the deck. In other words, what I'm saying is this: I don't like stacking the deck to go play with somebody else just to help me win. I don't like that. I have more respect for Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley, who did not get rings, trying to take their teams and carry them on their
That's
back.
right.
That's just me.
Listen,
I have more respect for that. So,
So the
right
first
now-
few rings of
right
Jordan.
now, LeBron. Let me
How
say
do you
this.
compare?
Let me ask you this question right now. And LeBron said it. Do you think he'd go play with Golden State with Steph?
Of course
Probably.
he would.
I don't know. But
And
can I
would
ask
you
a
respect
question?
that? Would you respect
Would
that?
you then say the first 3 rings that Jordan won were better than the last 3? Because he did get, one of the greatest rebounders, defenders of all time to
They would win it
come.
regardless.
Did that player
So
come
now they
to
would
Michael,
win
or did Michael go
regardless.
to
This
him?
is all hyperbole and opinion.
Rodman was a plus. The Bulls were on a roll regardless.
Okay,
Then
well,
Michael
let me ask you
Jordan's
this
father
question. Let
died.
me
He
ask you
took
this
2
question.
years off.
Let me ask you this question. How did Rodman do the year before the Spurs? What did it do for them?
Don't remember.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Nobody remembers.
They didn't make the
Jamie,
playoffs.
But he led
let me-
the league.
Hold on a second, y'all. Jamie, pull up some of these comments, man. Pull up Akila's comment right quick. Yeah.
All right, so
There you
see,
go. We in the barbershop.
Akila.
Right now.
Oh, I feel like I walked into the barbershop. LOL. Yes, definitely. We going at it, right? Next comment.
Oh, Harry,
Lord of the Rings. What's up? Shout out to Harry. I had that call earlier, Harry. It worked out. I had a crush on Rodman in the 90s. Okay, Miss Casey, she down with it. Okay, respect. Michelle Turner, Kelvin, will you say at a job that isn't serving you? Ooh, that's a personal question. That's a good question.
It depends where I'm at in
If
life.
you have the freedom to choose.
And I think let me say this. Let me say this. When it comes to a competitive advantage, this is not working at UPS. The reality of it is this. In other words, even when we were kids, I never liked 10 all-stars on one team and then some scrubs on the other team. Be like, you know what I'm saying? My point is this. At the end of the day, LeBron he feels it's his right to go find championship. Now, let me say this. If you give him credit for going to 8 straight finals, you also have to realize he's under 500 in the finals. Right?
Right.
You have to be fair. Now, the other thing is this. When he went to Miami, they didn't come to win one, not 2, not 3, not 4. And guess what? They got beat by a team that they were over. They got beat by Dallas. And Dallas was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? So he did deliver at that moment.
Okay. Did Jordan got knocked out of the playoffs too, right? He lost actual games because I feel like people don't remember the fact that.
No. Let me help you with that.
What were the Lakers and the Celtics during the 80s and sometimes the 70s? They were the super teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did you think about? Right. What did you think about?
How many top 10 NBA of all time was either on the Lakers or the Celtics?
Well, first, let me say this. The Lakers and Celtics is 2 winningest franchise in NBA history. Let me say this. So Michael Jordan goes into the Boston Garden against 3 Hall of Famers, Bird, Parrish, and McHale. He goes and drops 63 on the road in Boston. What else could he have done to win that series?
I don't know, but y'all wouldn't have said that for LeBron. He lost. Y'all just say LeBron lost.
No.
Just like the same way Isaiah Thomas was cooking Jordan too. But Jordan lost.
But Jordan didn't lose in the finals. He didn't lose.
Yes,
in the
when he had the best team, clearly with basically everybody. First of all, don't talk about
Jordan and Pippen. It was Jordan and Pippen. That wasn't the best.
You know, was Paxson, was like one of the leading 3-point shooters in the league.
Who?
Paxson, all of these players were amazing at their jobs too.
Paxson
please understand, Horace Grant was 18, 20, and 10. He was like 18, 20, and 10 before.
So
they shifted the offense.
Where did Paxson rank among point guards?
Please don't speak about those other players like they're not good players.
No one said they're not good players, but you're bugging right now.
So let me ask you a question.
Rodman is one of the greatest. He's one of the 50 greatest players of all time. What, 75 greatest of all time?
Oh, see,
but he did before Rodman got there.
Yeah.
Let me ask the question of the panel real quick. If you're in a championship game, you're down 1, 5 seconds left on the clock. Who do you want to shoot the ball, LeBron or Jordan?
This is opinion. I'd rather have Steph Curry shoot.
Or
Kevin Durant. Steph is not in the conversation. Why are you bringing Steph in?
I'll answer your question if I get the answer if I ask one in return. All right.
Okay.
So I'll if we're talking under those circumstances, give me Jordan over everybody.
Okay.
That said, if I want to get there in the first place, give me LeBron. All right. If I want to get to be put in that position in the first place, give me LeBron. If I'm starting a franchise from ground zero, my number 1 draft pick, and I got a choice, I'm taking LeBron.
What I'm saying is this though. But you know your man wants no parts of that free throw line in the fourth quarter. You know that.
Listen.
Am I right? Am I right? Derek, he can't shoot free throws.
You LeBron stands or something else.
I'm LeBron. LeBron, listen, I think he'll hit him if he has to. I've seen him miss a few, but I've seen him get there more than I've seen anybody. But listen, before we get any further, let's pull up. Let's since
What'd she
talking
say?
about championship
Kelvin,
games.
what had
Yeah,
the Pampers
Yeah, I
grass?
was curious.
yeah. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Kelvin, what had the pompous grass background?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We better
Not
change
had.
topic soon.
Oh, what happened?
Pe-
Happened? Not had. Okay, what happened to the pompous grass ground? I don't know. To the grass background. I don't know.
Oh, you had a fly background before?
Damon, check it in, brother. Yeah, here's our brother.
D, what's happening with you, man?
See what's going
So,
on. MJ for me.
Can at respect, shout out to Damon. Can we at least talk about certain things that are just closest things we might be able to say to facts? The game has changed. LP, what's up? Oh my God, amazing writer. Shout out. Facts about, let's say, the NBA. The game has changed. Kareem, you could consider him like Wilt Chamberlain, like Shaq, like Jordan. These people were ahead of their time, and they were playing around people who could not match up to them. Nobody could match up to Jordan when he was in the league. That's why he was so dominant.
So Mitch Richmond was not a good two guard. Reggie Miller wasn't a good two guard.
Wait. What'd you say?
Cooking out on
Mitch
the West
Richmond
Coast.
wasn't a great point guard. I mean, great two guard.
Mitch Richmond, right? He's not in the top 100 players of all time, is he?
But was he
Jordan.
cooking?
He did. I've seen it.
Was he cooking people back then?
Wait, so
I'm talking about Mitch Richmond, who was an afterthought in the NBA. Y'all didn't say anything about Mitch Richmond. I was a fan of Mitch Richmond.
Why was Mitch Richmond an afterthought?
Because he was on the West Coast.
Y'all said Reggie Miller. Y'all would say Clyde Drexler. Y'all would mention a bunch of other people before you get to Mitch Richmond.
Yeah,
You're talking about maybe the fifth or sixth.
At one
best
time,
guard?
Mitch Richmond was the second best point guard. I mean, two guard in the NBA. To Michael Jordan.
Over Clyde Drexler.
Over Clyde Drexler, definitely. Mitch Richmond was cooking.
First of all, let me say this, Damon. Let me say this. First of all, this is where I owe you an apology, Damon. First of all, I realized something.
Part of Golden State.
You don't know about some of this stuff because you wasn't watching it then. I realized
yes,
that.
I was.
Hold on. You couldn't have been watching it.
I think that's out of
No,
line.
you let Deb go because you don't know. If you don't talk about Mitch Richmond as an afterthought, you don't.
Mitch Richmond
because how many times have you heard them use Mitch Richmond in an argument about how great that time was? Y'all said Charles Barkley. Y'all said Patrick Ewing. Y'all said I'm sorry. Y'all said y'all just brought Mitch
no, but we
Richmond
weren't
up.
talking about two guards then. You see, everybody has this narrative like, oh, they weren't athletic. They weren't athletic.
The top
Grant Hill
five,
wasn't
the top
athletic.
five.
Anthony Hardaway wasn't athletic. Allen Iverson wasn't athletic. What are y'all talking about like today? First of all, this is positionless basketball where everybody just shoot up a million threes. And first of all, LeBron James has taken over 2,500 more threes than Jordan ever did. So that kind of helps your average a little bit. That helps your score a little bit.
Shoots
LeBron
higher
James came in the
percentage.
league at 17. What would happen if Jordan played 20 years? What would happen if Jordan didn't spend 3 years in North Carolina?
Jordan wasn't.
I got one better for you. What if Magic Johnson? What if Magic Johnson wouldn't have retired at 32? Magic Johnson was in the league 12 years and in the finals for none.
Can we talk about what actually happened, or are we just gonna what if ourselves to the reality?
Give me a fact. Give me a fact. So then I'll give me a fact then.
Either the NBA or we're gonna talk about just fantasies. What if this person did this? What if Wilt Chamberlain?
I think you made that point already. Go ahead. What's your question?
Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Who are the top 5 two guards in NBA history?
That name is subjective. That's subjective.
That's subjective. The whole situation is subjective.
That's subjective.
Who's number 1 and 2?
Well, you tell me then, if it's not subjective. You tell me.
No, who would you say is number 1 and 2? You would say it's Jordan, right? Because he's the greatest player of all time.
I'm gonna go Jordan 1. I'm gonna go Kobe 2.
Kobe 2. Who would you say is
Dwayne Wade 3?
Dwayne Wade. Who would you go 4?
Let me see. I'm not sure who I'll do 4 and 5.
Right, but if we said Jordan was number 1, 2 and 3, their primes was in LeBron's era. Who are the top small forwards of all time? Outside of maybe Larry Bird, they're probably all listed in LeBron's era. Who are the top centers of all time? Outside of originally those old school centers, they are the top. But when you start getting to Olajuwon, Shaq, You start moving into LeBron time. Who are the top point guards of all time?
Okay, but so we don't have
After
to
you
go
go
through
from
this
Magic,
history of the
you
whole
start
league.
saying,
Basically, you got LeBron better than Jordan. I got
Hey,
Jordan.
listen.
That where we at. Everybody,
you
who
right,
got
you
who
right,
got
Yeah,
you
Jordan?
right.
let's
Listen,
move on to another topic.
since we're talking
We
about
gonna move on to
championships
another
and we're
topic.
talking about all
But
this
you got
fantastic
the right
stuff.
side of the screen. You got the right side of the screen. You guys represent the right. Ray
Jordan
and I
is one of the
represent the
greatest
left.
players of
Listen,
all time.
since we
And
talking
LeBron
what is
about
is second.
LeBron?
championships, we got a
And what is
fantastic
He is
LeBron?
the
game.
greatest player of all time.
We
And
got
I
His
a
disagree.
greatness,
And
in
I
terms of
respectfully,
greatness.
I
my brother.
respectfully disagree, but I respect you.
Hey, listen, we got some fantastic stuff coming up. We're talking about championships. We got the Super Bowl coming up. You know what I mean? Listen, can you pull up Annie's comment, Jamie?
Mm.
Sports gets the brothers heated.
Yeah, we gotta. Can you pull that up? She said something really quick, man.
He's a Jets fan. I know what it's like. I know what it means.
Yeah,
Annie
she
said,
said,
Eagles for the win. I'm more excited about Rihanna's halftime show. Oh,
yeah, speak
yeah.
on the
I forgot
halftime
about that.
show, man,
Rihanna's
and all of this
performing.
and everything that's coming over the Super Bowl, the Grammys. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. We just had a fantastic Grammys with the hip hop celebration. That was
Oh,
fantastic.
that was nice.
You know what I mean? We
That
really
was dope.
dug that. You know what I mean? Everybody came out, showed up, showed out. We got a fantastic. It looks like we got a pretty good Super Bowl lineup coming up as well. You know, with with the halftime show, we got Rihanna rocking on the halftime. We got Babyface in there, so we got a lot of stuff going on. And speaking of, who saw the hip hop? Who saw the hip hop tribute?
Yeah, I saw it.
Saw it.
That
I
was
saw
good.
it.
That was good.
Yeah,
What you
that
think,
was
Damien?
dope.
Damien, you're the aficionado, except for
No,
Lupe.
I'm gonna be
But
completely honest. I thought it was long overdue, and I thought it was dope. There's some judgments I could make because I remember we was having a conversation and in the past. I'm bringing up the past, right? You know, but we want to stay current. A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, who would you put up in a versus against Busta Rhymes?" And people keep saying, "Missy, you would." Listen, leave Busta Rhymes alone. You saw
You don't
him.
want that problem. You don't want that
If he
problem.
goes on stage on any verses and does what he just did, people gonna be like, "You can't really top that." But that's all I'm saying. Leave Busta Rhymes alone when it comes to the versus
I
stuff.
think his
But they
energy is
killed it.
unbelievable. But I have to tell you something.
LL,
Turn back the
he
clock.
showed out.
When he put the Kango on, that's it.
I felt good seeing Queen Latifah. I was like, you missed that, because there's a certain type of like self-respect, prestige. Like these people are like elder statesmen who are carrying themselves in a way that you can only be proud of, and I think that that's very important to see on this type of stage because they will parade the other things first and foremost. But when you get that real type of tribute, I'm hoping they do something bigger with this. Like I don't know if they can, like a 2-hour tribute show or something like that for the 50th year, some special. I think that would be amazing. Questlove, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to throw it all on him, but like I think that would be amazing. But yeah, how did y'all? Who stood out to y'all from the hip hop performance? Hip hop.
If I can, just to put my little 2 cents in, I liked how they took it from where it started to where it is now. But they lost me with Little Baby and Glorilla. That didn't need to happen. They were terrible. For me, and I'm biased because I'm from Staten Island, and I know that because we lived in the same building. It was good seeing Method Man. He's a actor now, and for some reason, the ladies are just going crazy over him as he gets older, which is understandable. But going back to Busta Rhymes, most rappers out there will tell you they don't want to go on on stage anytime that Busta Rhymes is going on because his show, his energy, his presence is just something that most people can't rival in the music industry. And he's been one of the few who's lasted as long as he did. Because if you remember, Leaders of New School came out in 91, 92, if I'm not mistaken. And Busta can still do it bigger than ever right now. So it was a good show. I enjoyed it. It was good seeing Rakim in his Dapper Dan suit. Tired of seeing Dapper Dan suits, but except for the few new artists like Uzi and Baby and Glorilla, I loved it because you can't go from Latifah singing Unity to Glorilla talk about I'm fuck nigga free. That just don't make no sense. It does.
Like that.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this is gonna sound foul, but I want to see big Missy. It's hard for me to see her looking, like that. I miss the old school, but I'll say this: I love seeing Run DMC and LL. Run DMC, LL, and then also much like yourself, Ray. I had a personal when I grew up in Long Island, people that went to our school was De La Soul. So seeing
Oh,
Posthumous there,
yes,
Pos there,
yes,
you know what I'm saying? So
yes.
seeing him there, it was good. I mean, now I know they stopped at a certain point. I kind of wish I could have saw Nas in there or, one of them, but I love what they did with it. And I agree with you, Damien. It would be nice to see them. What's the song that they made back in the day against gang violence, self-destruction? I thought they was going to try to
Self-destruction.
break. I thought they was going to try to break into that at one point because it was kind of like that. But I think the way they did it, with everybody just having like 30 seconds, was masterful. That was a lot to pull off. And I got to give it to the
Yeah.
Grammys for finally allowing this. Like somebody said, it looked like the BET Awards. I mean, they really,
Yeah.
really did it well.
Well, can I add this one thing? So Questlove is the one who organized it. And he said when he first put it together, he had like a whole 27-minute rundown. And it was like, no, you can't do that. So he had to cut it in half. So I could just imagine what that original 27-minute.
I would have loved to see Naughty. I would have loved to see Naughty in there.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Treach is underrated in hip hop in a way that as a rapper and a lyricist, a lot of rappers and lyricists will say Treach's name when other people won't.
But hip hop is such a big anthem.
Treach is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And I also like that Jazzy DJ for LL.
Oh, DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Because people didn't know Jazz at one time was the best DJ in the game. People thought because Will was soft, they didn't realize. But Jazz used to be
that boy's still nasty, man. I don't care.
It's hard. It's hard for me to put people over Premier and Jam Master Jay, but I think Jazz was up there. He's in the same conversation, no debate.
Jazz is if you know, Jazz is
definitely
bad boy. I'm telling you, man.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking on that though, listen, the Grammys really did their thing. You know what I mean? I'm really happy about that. And I really enjoyed it. But the Super Bowl now, we got a Super Bowl. We got another music thing going on with the Super Bowl. We got I was looking at the rundown. We got.
Oh, wait a second. Derek, let me just stop here 1 second.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Viola Davis who got the EGOT. Was it? Yep. It was Viola Davis. So let's take a moment and acknowledge Viola Davis.
Absolutely, that was well deserved.
So she won in every. I don't consider them categories, but
Oscar, Emmy,
Grammys, Oscar, Tonys.
So shout out to Viola Davis, man. She's an incredible woman.
Beyonce lost to.
Oh, shout out to Damon. Beyonce lost to white. Yeah. So can I? All right, really quick. Jay-Z killed that last song. They did an 8-minute song to hold up. That verse is ridiculous. It's gonna go down in history.
Yes, Michelle.
Can I ask a question to the panel?
All right.
Beyonce just lost to whoever. Do you think the Grammys are even relevant? What are your thoughts? It's just an opinion, right? I can't tell somebody else whether they're relevant or not, but this is a question I would like to ask. Do you think the Grammys is really that important?
If you're going to have a music industry at all, as we know it, the Grammys are relevant. The Grammys are the biggest thing in the music industry. Traditional
Drake is the biggest thing in the music industry.
Drake is the biggest thing in the music industry.
No, but it's the biggest measuring stick for them as far as their awards. I think it's the biggest award.
It's instant credibility. It's instant.
It's a business,
but you know what, Damien? I think this era doesn't really care about it anymore, like we did, like we once did when Michael took home 8 in one night. I don't think it's the same now.
It's not the same,
and I think it's truly biased. I really don't think. It is. Like for instance, Beyonce's greatest work ever to me is going to be Lemonade. That was going to be her Thriller. That was going to be what she did visually and all that stuff like that. And they robbed her of that night, just like they robbed Michael for Off the Wall. And I just think it's about now, this album with Beyonce. I can't really say because I couldn't. I'm not into house music or whatever this was, disco, whatever it was, but
dance music they call it,
dance music or whatever. But they robbed her and gave it to Adele that year with Lemonade. And I thought that was foul. So I don't know if they're not relevant anymore. I know one thing: I don't care as much. I think younger people don't care at all. I think now because they can go direct to consumer, I think the fans determine what's hot and what's not. But the entertainers, the artists, they still count that. That's still stats. Still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know if you get Grammy award winning or Grammy nominated next to your name, your price goes up. So I can understand business wise, it still has a hold. But when you say things like this, some of the artists win awards, go up there and say, I shouldn't even have this award. You know what I mean? Like, so even they feel it in their own souls that you know, this person did an amazing job. Why are they not winning this award? One, and I know this person should have got the award. Like, you know, they talk about Macklemore winning a bunch of stuff, and you know, it's just this is just in the past. I think what it has happened is that there was a lot of black people who felt like their music wasn't respected, taken seriously. Their favorite artist was always being overlooked. You might get nominated, but you're not gonna win because you know the Grammys is a business. They're selling ad space. You know what I mean? Like there's that's a real fact that we gotta always acknowledge when we talk about stuff. But I was just curious, you know, because I think
But
that's a real question we should start asking.
the thing that you mentioned about Macklemore is you have these colonizers, just like they did in the '60s and the '70s, coming into black music, taking our music, what we've created, and watering it down to some suburbs bullshit that transcends in their community, and artists who are hot, relevant, and are killing it with better quality, better production are not even getting a look. So, you know, I don't think the Grammys are relevant. The biggest artists are boycotting the Grammys. Drake is the biggest artist. He's boycotting the Grammys. He just said his little speech because of the relationships he has with people. But
Mhm.
no one's really feeling the Grammys because it's basically not a popularity contest, but friend of a friend. We got to get this person a Grammy to put on their mantle.
But you know the
I'm
problem.
not
No, the
feeling it.
problem is it still carries weight. It carries more weight, and we don't get the same credence. Like you be like, I don't have no Grammys. I got 400 BET awards. Nobody
Ooh,
really gives you like if you
BET Awards.
you
Ooh.
remember people not get. I mean, people get robbed at the Grammys, and then they get a bunch of Soul Train music awards and stuff like that. It's just
Now the
like
Soul Train Music Awards, I would watch. I don't really
I would
watch a lot
watch.
of award shows, a lot of award ceremonies. That has a history that is just of excellence, I would say. Out of
Definitely.
all the award shows, I remember the Soul Train Music Awards. I remember watching people go up there and tear it down.
Yes.
So
y'all are
I'm
just
not
super
big on
black
award
tonight,
shows and stuff
man.
like that. We going
we
too
what
far back in
what
time.
Derek?
Let's keep it
Y'all are
current.
just y'all are just super black tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the
We're
Soul
blackly
Train
black,
Awards.
black, black,
Y'all
black,
are
and black, I'm black, and black, and I'm black.
Exactly. Hey, yo, let me tell you something. Hey, listen, listen. Jamie, bring up some of these comments that we got because Damien, can you read some of these too when you get a chance, man?
Yes, sir.
Harry
Harry
talks.
talks good. Beyonce was robbed. Hey, Sean Coggins Inc. Like DVDs, they're going out of style. Yeah. Grammys going out of style. Michelle Turner, Drake is terrible. Who is judging the Grammys? That's a great question. We don't know. I don't know. The T with D&B, they aren't relevant. Unequal input by people trying to make money. Yeah, it is a money grab. Bring back the source of Damon. You just trying to start violence.
Come on,
Damon, you
man.
chose
Blackity
violence
black, black,
tonight.
Give
black.
him a scroll for
You
that.
chose violence.
Give him a scroll for that.
Give him a scroll.
There
No,
we go.
we not bringing back the source.
I'm
Is the
not maybe
source still a magazine?
a long
How do you
No,
have the
distance
Source
scroll.
Awards with
Yo,
no
I get
source?
fired on your day off, man. Damn, you ain't
the
even
source
here,
has
man.
been done.
Craig, yo,
The source Benzino was the publisher of the source, and they've been done because
Oh, yeah.
he's still
oh my
doing love
God,
and hip hop.
Michelle, y'all out here just trying to get us all the way messed up. All right, I'll do it. I will support y'all if y'all gonna host it. Michelle and Damon gonna be up there on stage dodging bullets.
See, D's
Yeah.
out here pumping because D don't like the wild coons anyway.
This what I don't like. I don't like when they do the hip hop awards and it's in
There we
Atlanta.
go.
It's in Atlanta.
There we go.
Shout out, Harry talks good. The framework better than the Grammys. I agree.
There
Oh
we
my
go,
God,
Damon. Here
I'm
we
not
go.
reading that. Don't need to scroll. Scroll
Oh,
Damon.
I told
Here
you,
we
Ray,
go.
you're not gonna get
On
the
his day
record. My
off,
man
he
is
got
not
you.
having it.
Wait, are we talking about Crick
Day off.
Apparel? That's a store. We're talking about the franchise.
How is D getting scrolled at the hospital?
That's what I'm trying
Award
to
shows
say.
are dumb. They used to be special when we didn't see these celebrities every day on social media. That's a
I
great point.
definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might
It's
be a
definitely
real part. Soul
oversaturated.
Train.
That's it.
Shout out to Michelle Turner. That's a great point. EO. I used to watch Soul Train when I was a kid. Of course. Oh my gosh.
Simone.
Be
Simone.
I gotta pre-read it before I read his comments to just know so I don't get caught up in his shenanigans. Beyonce lost to a dude who has an album we will never think about. Yeah, that's
You
a
know what
great
happened?
point.
One time, India Irie got robbed at the Grammys. They didn't give her one. They gave everything to Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
they
that.
robbed her and Jill Scott, and they gave India Irie 5 Soul Train Music Awards. And I don't know if it meant as much to her. You could be like, it's from my people, but the recognized standard of excellence used to be the Grammys. Now, I thought what the Grammys should have done was when the American Music Awards canceled that Chris Brown performance, they should have brought Chris Brown onto the Grammys to do that Michael Jackson tribute performance. That's what I thought.
And there's just so many issues along with that idea of even putting Chris Brown anywhere now because of his history. There's movements and conversations about domestic violence, and so I know that's a. But
difficult... I mean, my God, ain't that like a decade and a half ago? I mean, like somewhere you got to let the boy off the mat, right?
No,
there's some people who 30 years ago, 20 years ago, they don't matter. It don't matter.
So you can never come back from something? Y'all don't think y'all can ever? I mean, this boy was what? I mean,
wait.
Is Bill Cosby ever going to have his reputation clean and that smut off his name? R. Kelly?
Yeah, but Ray, I think we're talking about guys who were offenders that did something multiple times. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in favor of any man striking a woman ever. What I'm saying is this boy is probably 17, 18 years old. And then I don't know that he needs to be 50 years old. And they're like, well, you can never grow from that. I mean, at a certain point, hasn't somebody served the time or done something? I mean, at a certain point, I mean, he should still be able to perform. I would think.
He does, but the domestic of violence community, once they get a hold of you and you've done something like that, then you will never.
But he's been on award shows since then, though. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, but still, he's still protested and acknowledged as a domestic abuser. There's always an asterisk next to his name for that.
Yeah.
And then there's also controversy related to Michael Jackson himself. So let me get back. Michelle Turner, D. Pearson, aren't you good? He didn't pull a R. Kelly. He should be forgiven unless he's still on shenanigans. That could be a thing. Damon, Dr. Dre beat D. Barnes up.
He beat the hell out of D. Barnes
and got an award. Agreed.
That's true.
So, I mean, Ortiz, nobody asked what Rihanna said or if she put hands on him that night. Caribbean women will be in your face staring at
I don't want to go down that path. I don't want to do that.
More black people are never forgiven in the media. That to me, I think that's the pattern. I've seen it many times. I think we all have. Damon, Bill was giving pills in the raw. Oh my God, these new chicks want.
Oh, my man got to scroll in advance.
Jamie, can you just
man,
give us a warning? Is there some type of pre-warning? Like scroll and then show Damon comment. That might help. I think you got me reading stuff that I'm gonna look crazy now.
He told him to scroll it first.
I think we need to go ahead and just commercial break, man. It's time anyway, man. We need to break it up, man. We're gonna come back with some more relationship talk right now, man. So let's go, Jamie. All right, man.
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, we invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? If you like what you're seeing from the Four Brothers here, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay notified when we go live and post new content. Thank you for the support.
All right. What's up? We're back. You know, hey, remember, like, subscribe, the whole nine. I can't say it like D says it, but you know, I'm just throwing it. Think of me as the Pat Bev of tonight. You know what I mean? I'm a role player coming off the bench. But listen, man, you know, relationships are, pretty tough. You know, sometimes, as we all know, sometimes the grass seems a little greener on the other side of the fence, and in this clip that we want to talk about a little bit, we're talking about girls, and some of the girls that came in, they had a show, they said why, they talk about why they date white men. So if we get a chance, man, let's run that down. Let's what am I saying?
It's about to go down.
Oh, yeah, it's about to go down.
Let's go.
Tammy, when you get
Turned
a chance,
up.
run the clip.
Raise your hand if you ever been in an interracial relationship.
I don't date Africans or black. Sorry.
You don't like black guys?
It's white or nothing.
Oh, shit. Why don't you like African Americans?
I only used to date black men, but then I got tired of just like, they treat us like differently. Like, it's crazy because then they'll go for like the lighter women. So what's wrong with me wanting to be with and see my options?
From my experience, I feel like a lot of black people are so controlling. They're very, very controlling. Yeah.
Raise your hand if you prefer to date Caucasian men. Damn, why do you prefer?
It works for me. You gain more out of it.
So financially,
not just financially. You loving somebody that actually is loving you and showing you.
So you saying that white men show more affection?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Way more.
Black men have a hard time. They love us. White men, you gonna more likely find a white man that do that than a black dude. They're sweet. Like, it's easier. You feel me? It's I just feel like it's less of a struggle. Like, maybe I need to go outside with somebody that's not like from my country.
Every time a black girl mentions a white man, y'all automatically assume
it's about money.
For sure. I had a black man that did the same thing the white man was doing.
Okay, so raise your hand if you would date a broke white man.
That's what I was
Exactly.
saying.
Y'all ain't raise your hand.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Can I say where I agree? I don't date men either. So, I mean, we might have something in common in this conversation, I think.
Let me just say this real quick. In the time and era that we're living in present company is definitely excluded from this. Not everybody needs a platform. Because I don't know who these dusty, goofy bitches are. Give me the scroll. I don't care. But who? What? Okay, I don't even know what to say. Who are these people? What do they do? What are their qualifications to be speaking just because you have freedom of speech? And what?
Yeah, Ray, I agree with you. I think the platform thing is a lot. I think just because everybody has an opinion doesn't mean it needs to be showcased on the platform. And I mean, people can say that about anybody. They can say about us, but I'll say this. That's a mindset. That's a mindset. And what amazes me about that community that gets credit for anything. I used to tell one of my friends, she used to say they could do more for you than a black dude could do. But you know what I used to always say about that community? This dude could set a house on fire, go around and knock on the door, say it's a fire, and he's considered a hero. Nobody considers what he did. Nobody considered that he enslaved people. Nobody considered that he lied and cheated and stole more from people. But he's considered, because he did all that and took all the resources, that he can do more. And then this idea that he's more affectionate, I think that is absolutely ridiculous. So I think I never used to buy into the whole self-hatred thing, but I realized something that is real, it is prevalent. And the idea is anytime you date outside of this community, they think they're dating up. They actually do. They actually think they're dating up. In any regard, they think they're dating up.
Yeah. I think I agree with everything y'all saying. I might not use some of the language because I am a mature adult and I try
I'm
to
not.
speak to people nicely, but I'm not gonna lie. That was some bullshit. But I also do believe everybody's entitled to their opinion, but then I always follow it up with not every opinion is made equally. And I think that their opinions were exposed when he asked the final question, would you date a broke white man? And they all looked around like somebody yelled fire and they were about to jump up and run out of that whole podcast booth or whatever they were. So at the end of the day, their response, even though they were trying to say that it wasn't based on some type of financial benefit or gain, when he asked that final question, it proved that the mindset that they're speaking from is some type of financial gain. When they said, one of them said, when you'll gain more from it, and he tried to ask, what are you gaining? They didn't have any real answers, right? They didn't have any benefits.
But I'm like, like Ray though. These looking like the housewives of Guy Brewer, and then everybody acting like they. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I understand who was checking for them. Like,
so would you classify them as dusty, musty, crusty, rusty?
I don't want to say that because I don't want the enemy to use me.
You can say that. You can say that. I hear it in your voice. You want to say it.
It's just like I don't understand like the way y'all look, the way you present yourself. You know, we're not looking at the highest level of education. We're not looking at the highest level of beauty. We're not. So in other words, this idea that you just show up and there's some type of entitlement that the world, these men should just be coming out of the woodwork for you. I don't understand. Really. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that is missed on this generation. What about femininity and just being nice? What about this is probably derogatory now, but what happened about being sweet? Remember that? Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man,
being sweet.
Kelvin,
like,
you about to get canceled. I'm gonna read these. I'm gonna read.
Let's get these comments going.
Kelvin, I support you. I see your proud Air Force shirt. I support you. I don't want you to get canceled. I got your back. Air Force uncle. All right. White men love women that look like prostitutes. Oh,
I wouldn't make a sweep.
Jamie, why do you keep putting him on? Yo, he keep. All right. Narette. Shout out to Narette. That part, Kelvin. Yes. EOTs, these girls are whack. They would pay double the price at the club entrance and would be the purse and coat holders for the squad. Oh my God. That was very specific.
That's true.
Norette, they got out of high school 5 years ago. What the hell do they know?
See, these are the type
Michelle
of girls.
Turner. As soon as someone of mixed race, black and Cuban, I say love who love you. I will say that due to systemic and systematic racism, black men do not have the same earning power or power in general. That is also a very big fact. You were about to say something, Ray. I feel like I cut you off reading the comments.
No, that's fine. These are the type of girls and women who would say dating a guy who works a civil service job or, is a regular 9 to 5. They would consider that like L7 is square, and they're not their type, right? These are the type of girls who want the guy who's fresh out of jail, or the scammer, or the guy who's stuck on the block at 55 years old, smoking weed and drinking Hennessy with the crew. So their mindset is askew from the start. So you can't really take what they say with any credibility or validity, because why would you? They're talking about everybody else, but they have nothing to offer. They didn't say anything about what they bring to the table. These are the type of girls that, if you call them and say, hey, I'm just calling to say hi and check on you, they're like, for what? Where we going out to eat? I want some red lobster.
And Ray, where do you think that came from?
We call them birds.
Where do you think that came from, Ray? Because I have a theory on it. I have an idea.
The course thing over time. It's the course thing of society over time. You got to remember, back in the days, like Steve Harvey said, we used to sing about love. Black men used to wear suits every day. Women used to wear dresses. As we progress through the time, everything has been downgraded. Everything has been overly sexualized. And we don't have the standards that our parents and grandparents had. So now it's okay to be, ratchet and just on some real dumb shit, some real nut shit. I mean,
They don't.
it's
Yeah,
quite embarrassing.
it seems they don't
I
have the
definitely
same
got a theory
standards.
too. We're gonna share some theories on that. I'm sorry, Derek.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like you mentioned standards. Like we don't have the same standards. You know what I mean? And also we have a very skewed sense of reality when it comes
Yes.
to dealing in relationships. Women don't really know men. Men don't really know women. We just see something that's on television. And to that point, we're going to look at this next clip where we're talking about a group of people. They're talking about how to vet black men, or it's a man talking to sisters about black men and what we're into. So and how to vet us out. So Jamie, run that clip when you get a chance.
I think a lot of women keep trying to understand a man through their eyes. A man ain't chasing after no hoe. He wants to have sex with one because she's mastered sexuality, so he want to see what that's
And why
like.
is she going on trips and like?
I mean, you got to ask what man you talking about. See, most of the time when sisters are comparing men, everything about men is coming from the television. So they looking at athletes who take strippers. They look at actors who take strippers. All these wealthy guys on television, yeah, they take strippers. The average man is not doing that. But women only get they get all their cues from pop culture. And that's the problem. Men are not in tune with pop culture the way y'all is. You watching Love and Hip Hop, you watching videos, you watching these TV shows. So your concept of a man is synthetic. It has nothing to do with reality. And then you try to take that synthetic reality and apply it to real men. When men unify, we unify over something that's beneficial to not just us, but the whole community. Like I've seen a million man march. I never seen a million gangster march. I never seen a million Crip march or blood march. But you know what I did see? I seen a slut walk.
Yes,
so we unify with different things.
Yeah, that's something deep right there. I think again, expectations. I think a lot of things that happen in relationships, a lot of the upsets come from broken expectations. And I think that's and where you getting your expectations, is it like he's saying, is it coming from reality, or are we looking at it on the television? Are you getting that, where you getting that from? It used to be that maybe an older woman would sit down and tell a woman, what to expect in a man, and vice versa. So I don't know if that's what's happening, but what are your thoughts on that though? What do you think?
I have a theory on it. My theory is this, and y'all not gonna like my theory. My theory is hip hop in the 90s had a deleterious effect on our community. I think it really did. I think the imagery, I think we had this thing where we glorified a certain pimp behavior, thug behavior, and things like that. I think there's a group of young women that grew up looking at that, thinking that the guy who acts like that has money and has whatever. And they because think about it, you have a community who may not have the presence of fathers like some other people have it. And so I think the imagery, if you were 15 growing up in 90s hip hop early on, you may have thought every woman was walking around a pool in stilettos with dudes just pouring champagne on them and things like that. Now, I know there are movies that do that. I know I'm talking about as it pertains to our community. You saw drug dealers with money with the nice cars. You saw ball players with money with nice cars, and you saw rappers and depending on what they talked about, that's what people gravitated toward. And I think that really hurt us. Now, I'm not saying every rapper has the responsibility to do that. I'm not saying whatever. That's their art. That's what they want to do. But I noticed something. The good guy is not marketed. And you can put quotes around the good guys or whatever. I'm saying, but like Ray alluded to, I mean, even Biz said, baby, please, you work for UPS. Like, in other words, at the end of the day, this thing about somebody going to work, taking care of their family, and treating somebody well, I think there was something where it was attached to being lame and being whatever. So what happens is you go deal with the guy that's in the street. You go deal with the guy that's doing whatever. You get a couple of kids by him. Then you spend the rest of your life trying to find that good guy that's responsible that you passed on. And so all those women we just saw a minute ago sitting around that table, check back at age 35, 36, 37, 38, and check back with it to see how their preference is then and see who they digging in.
Can I jump in right there, Kelvin, on that?
Go ahead.
So I have a theory too, and it is similar, but I think it started well before 90s hip hop. But I don't disagree with your statement about how 80s and 90s hip hop influenced certain things.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I remember aunts, uncles, people older than me in my family, and they remember people older than them in their family, great grandparents and things like that, saying this: to their daughters. No romance without finance. If he don't got money, don't date him. Like if he can't take care of you, don't go out with him. Don't give him none. There was this belief that being passed down that women should only give serious attention and affection and give themselves to men with money. And then what they were telling men was, she's a gold digger. Don't trust her. She only wants you because of your money. So you sowed seeds of distrust between black men and women just off of that alone. So if you're hearing that in middle school, high school, and stuff like that, if he don't got no car, you shouldn't be going out with him. He can't take care of you. Oh, and if a young man goes to pick up a young lady for a date, do you work? What do you do for those type of things? So it was always focused around the idea of if he can't provide for you, don't do nothing with him. So
I think that's fair, though, in some respect. I think that is fair in some respects.
I do think it's fair, but what it does is when you're telling it to children and children are hearing it, and you're telling men, she only wants you because of your money, that is what you're being socialized into thinking. So every girl that likes you, you think they want you because of your money. Same as the athletes, same as the drug dealers. So now a hardworking, honest man that may not earn as much as a drug dealer is not going to be valued as high because the drug dealer can give more. The drug dealer has more and can be looked at as a better provider because they may have more accessible cash at the moment. So that narrative is going to skew because you're not telling them find the person that makes you happy, find the person you love. You said if he don't got a job, don't go out with him. He don't got no money. What are you doing with him? He's a scrub. And that was going on well before the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s. And if you pulled up to a young woman's house and you wanted to get to know her, oh, what are your intentions with my daughter? Can you provide for her? Can you do this? And these are again teenagers, right?
Very first conversation from the father. Can you provide? What are your intentions? They want to know what it is. You know what I mean? What's happening?
There's nothing wrong with it, but when you're socializing children in that way, you are now creating a value system based around money.
Hey, listen,
there was a loss of the idea of love and finding somebody who makes you happy. And what I think people did previously, they struggled together. Yeah. Husband and wives struggled together and built each other up, as opposed to saying you have to have it already before you could get my number.
A lot of that was out of necessity. Listen, we got some really good comments coming through, man. Jabby, can you show some of these comments? And Damien, can you read them?
Yes, sir. Norette, that young man dropped some wisdom, and those young ladies totally missed it. There may be some truth to that. Young women don't want to hear from older women like me about how to treat a man and love a man. Maybe you should come on and talk to them about it because we might need some good voices to start countering some of the things that we're hearing. Michelle Turner. Yeah, the men was disrespectful to women and bragged about murdering their own brothers. Now we have these kids thinking hood culture is okay and hating women is okay. Well, yeah, some of these men think they are good guys and they aren't. They get upset and they didn't have access to women they wanted, and now they are passport bros, etc. So I respect that. I think there are some differences in those levels, but it goes back to people dating who you want to date, loving who you want to love, right?
Can I say something real quick?
If you feel like you're not finding somebody for you, you might have to go out and search. I think it's something in the Bible about a man who finds a wife, right? What does finding a wife mean? Wouldn't you have to go out and search?
Yeah. Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I think the premise and the foundation is faulty because all males are not men. And I think if you look at that and really think about that, just because you're a male by gender, it doesn't make you a man. And the way they're presenting it, it tells me that they have no idea or concept of what a man is, or their interpretation of what a man is not based in reality. So when you deal with something that's not based in reality and actual facts, you say stuff like they were saying. So is it ignorance? Is it just them not being in tune and educated on and having a vision of what a man is, should, and how they conduct themselves? I don't know. But, this mass grouping and, this I'm entitled and I got to have this. No, bitch. Fuck is you? Oh, I'm sorry. I lost myself for a second.
I'm gonna read some comments because he was ready to go.
He is
He
actually
pulls
hanging
out the
with D.
machine
I think
gun.
they both got about 2 or 3. I mean, they both right there.
Mm-hmm. They
I almost
it's like
lost
the
it for a
home
second.
run race. They pulling ahead of each other. All right, Norette, yes. Dondre Whitfield talks about this all the time. So can I provide some pushback just for conversation purposes? Oh, Michelle Turner, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Yeah, I think that's a
That's a
passage. I'm
fact.
not a,
Yeah, that's it.
Bible person.
Absolutely.
But
That's a
I
good
know
one.
a little bit about a little bit. ERTs feels like people barter and don't date anymore. That might be a thing. That's a good
Whoa.
point. So my question now is this. So has the definition of a man changed over the years? Has the requirements to be considered what a man is by society changed over the years? Because 50 years ago, it may have meant one thing, and it might mean something completely different now. And the conversation around that might be very different. So it could be really it could be really different, because when somebody says, like you were mentioning, what a man is, and what constitutes being a man, that conversation could change. And then there may be some people who say, well, then I ain't a man.
Man, the conversation is changing. Have you been paying attention?
Well, this is
You know what I
this is the
mean?
I'm
thing.
just asking a question.
Oh yeah, please don't go
See?
down that road. I'll
Listen,
say this.
yeah.
This is the reality. I think Damien, and to your point earlier, this is what I think they were trying to defend against. Obviously, you meet a young man, he's 15, 16, 17, and whatever, he's in his sexual prime or in his sexual peak. They know, those men knew, those families knew, ultimately the boy gonna want to have sex. If he does have sex and you get pregnant, somebody got to take care of this child. And so be very careful who you give yourself to, because you will be the one giving birth to a child. And he could disappear, he could do whatever. So I think the resource piece is important. I think it wasn't so much that the person had a lot of money. I think you have to be careful of the person that's not doing anything. A young man that is lazy and doesn't have any aspirations, doesn't want to work, I think they're trying to say, listen, don't invest in that, because you may be going into a dead end. So I think it's a difference between having the extreme luxuries versus a person that's actually not trying to hold their end. So I think those are the major differences. The reason I mentioned 90s hip hop, because the videos had caught up, the imagery had caught up, whereas it wasn't just about, Run DMC and Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. It was a lot different when it became, because it at one point, after I think gangster rap came in or something turned. It's almost like they turned on the audience. Before, we were partying together. Then it became, I have money and you don't. See me when your money grows up. This, that, and the third. And I got stacks, and I got this, and I got that.
Yeah. You got to be clear on that, though, because what you explained is not what people were saying to their children. Children are not going to be able to discern what you meant how you explained it based off of what was actually being said to them.
Well, see,
right?
we're different ages. So when I was a kid, what I used to see and hear from my uncles and things like that was, a man takes care of his family. A man takes care of his family. That's what we heard. A man takes care of his family. So my uncles and stuff wasn't riding around no Bentleys and stuff like that. My uncles were working for the MTA and this, that, and the third. So when they taught little kids or whatever like that, it wasn't like, this guy don't have $1 million, don't mess with him. It was like, make sure you get with somebody that works and will help take care of you.
Remember, you're using yourself. You might be the exception to the rule.
Yeah, all I can do is give myself. I mean, all I can do is say from my experience. I don't know what.
Right, but remember, that's what you heard, and I'll be honest. Other people during, let's say, the 70s, 80s, 90s, those men might have been locked up, and they might not have been. So there's so many different elements that goes into it. The war on drugs locked up a lot of men who may not even have been guilty or involved in anything.
Listen, there are many things.
There's so many other areas we could go politically with when they stopped hiring black men, there was a hiring shortage. There was so many things that happened that could also affect and I forgot to comment. Somebody did mention about black men not having the means that white men had because they weren't making as much money. And then we have to always mention the cost of living is skyrocketed over the last 50 years.
Oh no,
and the wages have not gone up. So a man 40, 50 years ago with one job could take care of a family potentially. Now with one job, you can't even get a 1-bedroom.
But Damien, answer this question. Sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned comment. You mentioned the comment. Let's go.
But yeah, we got to redo the comments. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think it all matters, not just one thing. It's a collection. Yeah. Candace, what's up? What's up, Candace? Relationships have been transactional since the dawn of time. I completely agree. However, values are shifting, and the majority of singles, oh, I read that like craft singles, no longer know how to identify what they truly need. Need is a subjective thing, or even be able to identify what is they want.
What is
And that's a great comment. I think that's very important to think about. Damon, leave the passport bros alone. Salute to the bros. Say it again, Ray. Salute to the bros.
All right, so
Oh
let me
my
ask you a
God.
question.
Hold on, EOTs.
EOTs, passport bros, bring home the newest international bumps. Thanks, guys. Yo, Michelle Turner, LOL at Damon. Damon, man, it's bumps out here in the US. Oh my God.
You have to change.
Yes, but those DR bumps are immediately spicy.
Woo.
Oh my God. Why do y'all try to get me scrolled out. Damon Ray only calls them bitches because he doesn't know these hoes' names.
Yo.
All right.
Michelle, facts, Kelvin. My parents taught my brother to be a provider. My brother is 33 and he bought his house in preparation for a family. Again, that might be the exception. You can't use it as the rule.
All right, so let me
Michelle. Yeah, shout out to Michelle and your brother.
So what do you think has a worse message? You got to have a job to be with me, or can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay? In other words, you see the difference. In other words, one is saying you just got to have a job if we're gonna be in a relationship. The other one is like, can you take care of the stuff I want and pay for me? And I think that's the big difference.
So the ability to discern messaging is the issue that I'm talking about. So whether you say it from that song or this one, people are not actually making sense of what's being said and how it relates to their life. They're just following the words. So there are women back then who were saying you got to have a job if you want to be with me, meaning just have a job. Now,
but what era has produced the worst condition? Which one? There's two eras I mentioned, which has worse effect.
Neither of those, to me, actually had the impact of the price of living tripling in the last 30 years. That's what I'm talking about. So when we talk about those two things, those messages are harmful. One may have a bigger effect,
those girls
but if the cost of living is 10 times more, that is going to have a huge national impact.
But Damien, I don't hear cost of living. I hear I need this Gucci bag. I need a Hermes bag. I need a bag. I don't hear people talking about whatever. I'm saying, in other words, they're talking about extravagant stuff that they want these dudes to do.
The rent
versus you talking about the cost.
High party.
Yeah, but they ain't talking about rent. They rolling around here want to be taken to vacations and stuff like that.
Listen, we got
and guess what? I ain't taking them.
Relationships. Listen, the relationships are what they are right now. As you say, they've always been transactional. But listen, I want to move it on a little bit, man, to a little clip that kind of talks about it. It talks about the difference between men and women, and really what's a little bit of what we're talking about. Is this true about men and masculine women? It seems, So let's run this clip and let's talk about this for a minute.
And to be quite honest with you, I don't care why you're masculine.
It don't even matter.
I don't care what happened to you I'm a 40-year-old man.
You got a daughter?
No, I don't.
Because but that's not fair.
But my point is this.
Right.
You all wouldn't care if a man came to you feminine and said, my dad wasn't in my life. My mom didn't teach me this. You say, bro, you're 38 years old. I don't want to deal with a feminine man that hasn't addressed his issues. So for me, dealing with a woman that way, I'm going to tell you the same thing. I understand you had issues or whatever growing up and you had to be a certain way. But I'm not going to put up with it as far as trying to be in a relationship with you because you don't know how to be a feminine woman.
So what's a feminine woman? What's your definition?
A woman that basks in her femininity. She knows how to be submissive to a man. She knows how to speak life into a man. She knows how to nurture. She knows how to take care of a home and take care of kids. She knows how to be accountable. She knows how to be reasonable. She knows how to be understanding when she's dealing with a man and knows which battles to choose when she's dealing with him.
So what do you think, man, fellas? Are women more masculine now, and does that somehow take away from masculinity of men? Like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a perspective. I don't know that they're necessarily just masculine. I think some of the responsibilities may make some of the guys feel uncomfortable. I don't really think that a woman necessarily, and I'm not saying that he's saying this, but has to dumb down. I think different things work for different people. Some guys want a woman that is just as vocal or whatever, and they just feel like, she can add whatever. I think a good relationship would be two people that complement each other. So sometimes people do different things better than somebody else. My grandfather made money, couldn't manage it. So my grandmother was a housewife. She managed the money. It just worked like that. Some people are like, no, you just follow my lead because I'm the man. Sometimes you got to just figure out what works the best for you. That's what I think. And I think if you can compliment the person that you're with, some dudes are real laid back and they like a woman that's vocal and vice versa. So I think it's different. I don't know that. Now I love the femininity of women. We love women. That's part of the natural attraction. But as far as a woman's behavior, the way she carries herself, I wouldn't want to be with a woman that acts masculine. I mean, I wouldn't want to, that wouldn't appeal to me. But I don't think because a woman is really career oriented or driven or something like that, that makes her masculine. And I don't know that that's what he's saying. But if that's the impression, I would disagree with that.
I'm confused.
I agree.
Is he saying a woman is masculine because she speaks her mind, or is he
That's what I'm
saying a
trying to
woman
figure
is?
out.
See, it's not clear on where this is going. Because as for someone who's been married 18 plus years, you know, when I come home and Sean is here, the first thing that she says to me is Raymond, and I go Shauna. That's not masculine. That's just how we do, and we laugh about it. So, you know, everything. There's no right answer or one size for everything. There's always, as you guys have been saying, perspective. I mean, certain things I'm good at. I make sure I'm very obsessive compulsive. So bills and finance and stuff like that, I got to pay it all the time. Boom, boom, boom. Shauna, she would let everything go left, but everything else she's good at. And I always give the example of in 2018 when I had a kidney transplant and she slept in the hospital on a couch bed for 7 days. And after I got out the hospital, she took on the task of preparing all my medication, scheduling all my appointments, and all that stuff. That's what she's good at. So we balance each other. If there's no balance, then there's nothing to build on. So
Can I
I
just
like what I got.
shout Shauna out? Can I shout Shauna out real quick though? Can we shout her out
Let's not, because she's in the bedroom and
being
she
that
won't let me
balancing
hear the end
force
of
in
it.
your life? Because I mean, I don't know if there's something you could ask more for. You know what I mean? Like, how could you ask for anything more in the world?
can't.
Like somebody
You
who
can't.
balances you out, supports you in that way.
You can't.
That is beautiful. That I just wanted to say that because I
appreciate
just
that.
heard something that just made me feel a certain type of way. I'm not sensitive. I'm masculine though. I do. Nah, I'm joking. But no, that's a beautiful thing. Derek, you have some thoughts on it? I want to hear your thoughts because
if we're talking about relationships, I think that we have to be careful not to misconstrue masculinity with confidence. I personally am very, very always been attracted to a confident, dynamic woman. All right, that you know that's the difference between at the time girlfriend and now of course the ultimate wife material, and then someone who I just kind of hung around with and we were friends, and you know what I mean, and she kind of just let me do whatever, you know, and that was it. Hey, and that's it, you know. But so I don't have a chance. Now, when I hear masculine, I'm thinking it's a woman who's got to be in competition with you over every little
That's what I
thing.
thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you know, so that's it. You know, like if you say left, you know what I'm saying? She's gotta say right, or you know what I'm saying, or you know, and it's like everything is like you know how it is. You giving off that masculine energy. You know, anytime you're in a relationship, you know, or if it's in this, it's just any relationship, whether it be romantic or if it just be friends or what have you, you're going to have disagreements. You're going to choose one thing, the other person is going to choose the other. You're going to be moving to in one direction, but what happens when the other person wants to veer off? You know what I mean? Or wants to choose something different. You know, it's different when you're married or you're in a more stable or more relationship, you know, a more permanent relationship. You have to still stay together. So who decides, you know, who gets the tiebreaker? You know what I'm saying? Traditionally, that's the man. All right, and that's just kind of how it works. You know. Now, does that
I
mean?
don't know.
You know, does that mean that, you know, you as a woman should go and be with a weak guy, or, you know, just because he's a guy, you know what I mean? And should you just follow behind him? I don't think so. You know, but if you have a man who's functional, who's standing on the square, who's does what he says, and you know, and carries on in his word, yeah, I think, you know, at that point, you know, you have a good guy, you know, and maybe you can kind of let some of that other stuff go. You know, I don't think it's about money or how much money you make or whatever, you know, but, you know, people have different priorities. That's what I think. You
I
know,
think at some point everybody has to step back and reevaluate whatever the question or the issue is, and whoever has the more plausible, reasonable, and whatever they're trying to accomplish is what's best for the union, somebody has to defer. And I'm okay with deferring with certain things with my wife because usually she's right. And I hope she's not listening because I don't want this to come back to me later on.
Listen,
you know.
Yeah, I agree. I need to be challenged from time to time. You know what I mean?
You gotta have that.
I don't want to be the smartest person in every room that I'm in every time I'm with my wife. I want her to be better at certain things than I am. You know what I mean? That's where the growth comes in.
It still compliments you.
Yeah, we still compliment one another. Yeah, you know.
I think it's really important to, because I think a lot of these are vague terms that everybody has their own definition of. So there's two things in my book that I quote a lot. One, around expectations, I say expectations are doorways to disappointment. So when you walk around with expectations of everybody's supposed to be filling in a specific role all the time, that's impossible. People act based on the situation and circumstances and their knowledge and comforts and things like that. So that can shift from one day to the next. If you're in one state to another, if you're in one conference room to when you're in your bedroom, those things happen. And the other one is everybody's different. So like y'all were saying, that these very static kind of vague definitions of masculinity, femininity, all these other things that people are just arguing over and there's no actual solution to, you could throw all those things out and just come with the simple comment that I think ERT's made, as well as Ray. Go with the best idea.
Yeah.
Why can't you sit down and have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, this is what I think we should do.
Hey.
Oh, this is what I think we should do. This one sounds a little bit better. Like, to me, it's everybody has an opinion. Not every opinion is made equal. I teach my students, ask somebody, what's your evidence? If you can't back up your opinion with something that makes sense and sound, then I might not want to rock with what you're saying. I'm gonna go to the comments. Would any of y'all be with a woman with a Glorilla voice?
No.
I'm gonna just say that's not my preference. How about that? I don't want those Glorilla black pants. I don't even.
But you know what I noticed though? What I noticed is this: it seems like there is just really, really a contentious relationship between men and women today. Like it's just every time all these podcasts, it's the same thing. You got a group of women that feel like under attack from the dudes. The dudes feel like I'm not satisfied with you. We don't like you. It's just I've never seen it quite like this before. The idea used to be to get the woman. Now it's like to make sure you go to war with her. And I don't know what that's about.
Can I speak on that? I only see that in the black community and the hip hop community and things like that. I don't see a bunch of podcasts where there are Asian or white men talking negatively about white or Asian women. They don't, that just isn't a thing that is the most popular thing being promoted on social media and stuff like that. But it seems like it is very specific to the black community and some other peoples of color, but it seems like to be promoted and profitable within this community, and it does not seem to be that in other communities, and they don't promote it as the main thing. They don't promote it as the main topic, and there's not thousands of podcasts on it for other communities.
I'm old enough to remember before the internet and all this other stuff, where there was this thing called War of the Sexes, and and they always had, and they were talking specifically about white men and white women. Everybody else was sort of an afterthought. You know what I mean? So this has been going on forever. Now that we have the internet, it's more segmented. Black people can talk about about our concerns. They can talk about their concerns, and it seems like it's just us, but they're having the same or similar conversation with their own people. We just can't afford to have it, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
We see it way more consistently on anywhere you search. I would say black people are about 13% of the population, and those videos we probably make up 75% of them.
And we also consume more social media and more internet media than any other people too, by the way. So that's the other thing.
I would need to see the numbers on that, because I've seen many schools in many different areas, and Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift for a reason.
Listen, but one people that don't have, we got these. We got another clip here. We're going to talk about poly. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we're going to talk about different kind of relationships. We're going to talk about these poly relationships. All right. So if you get a chance, run this clip. Maybe they got something over us that we don't understand. So run the clip, Jamie.
You go to a swingers club.
I take your wife, you take mine. We go in the same room. We do our business. But even that, I'm sitting there, I'm doing my thing, and I look over, and again, he's going ham on my wife.
The story, the hypothetical is horrible.
But I mean, like, you doing you know how you do your thing. So you might not be like, you might be strong with it. You giving it to it, but he over there like, he going ham.
He want all the smoke.
Like way different than what you do. He got his energy different. You know, he might be a little stronger than you. You know, and you.
But is that who you would choose to?
But what if you don't know? Because it's not a size thing though.
True.
It could be a skinny dude. It could be a big dude. It could be a fat dude. It don't even matter.
Right.
He giving it to her, and you over there doing your thing. You like, I don't know how I feel. I be like, this ain't working for me. Like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, you need to stop.
Listen, that's never gonna work.
No.
It's never gonna work.
This is the goofy shit I be talking about. These niggas is goofy. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the point is or the premise. I'll just say this. It's something I couldn't be involved. Like this whole sharing the woman it's just not. It's something that I wouldn't. It's not my wheelhouse. It would never be. How dudes do that, I don't know. I guess everybody has their own preference or whatever like that. I don't believe in that. I really don't. It just I don't even see how people be in the same vicinity of each other. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, your woman or your wife is supposed to be your queen. What are you doing sharing your queen with any and everybody on that bullshit, man? Come on, man.
And that's a man's pride right there. You know.
These niggas
Go
are
off
suckers,
on the
man.
queen talk. Here we go. I want to hear it. Upside down pineapples. That's the secret sign for swinging. It's rampant in Connecticut. Oh, I don't know nothing about Connecticut. No two poly for me. That was Michelle Turner. I don't share.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right. Candace, poly is not for everybody. Right. And I think that's the main focus, right? That what he described, I don't see myself ever being comfortable with that ever. If that was brought up as a conversation, it would be like, no. And I would have just been in. And it's okay. You break up if the person doesn't want to stay with you. Michelle.
She said, women, go back.
Michelle,
go back,
swinging
Candace,
and poly are different. Right. Those are different things. I would say it would be important, one, to establish what it is that you want in a relationship and you're comfortable with, and then maybe find somebody else who has a similar value system and is able to compliment you in that way. Because what he described is you probably losing your wife. Like, in that moment, you think you having fun and your wife is moving on. LaPonda, it's rampant in DC as well. Oh, so maybe that was New York, Connecticut, and DC. Damon mentioned it was big in New York, so
yeah,
that's true. At Michelle, poly and swinging are complete. Yeah, these are different things. So if we were gonna have a conversation on swinging or a conversation on a poly relationship, it all depends on what people are thinking. Slow down on the comments, Candace. Even within poly, there are many different styles. Yes, I agree. I know that there's differences in poly relationships. There's even differences in swinging relationships. So we would need to know a little bit more information and context. But I guess the question was, is that something that y'all would be, y'all all completely against it? Y'all like, no. The answer is no. Is there a type of relationship that you would say, you know what, I'd be curious about that? I'd try that.
Nah.
Would y'all marry two women?
No. Listen, a partner of mine down in Atlanta told me about some shit, like some stuff like this. And all this leads to is men boning other men in these clubs. And miss me with the bullshit, man. You know, whatever spin you want to put on it, whatever, some sucker shit, man. That's all it is.
One thing I say about Ray get right to it. You ain't got the gas, Ray.
He gonna tell you what he feel, right?
Come on, man.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I believe there's something that's really sacred about you and the one for you, whoever she may be. And I would say, if you're with a woman, I would say give 100%, and that woman gives you 100%, you know, and try to protect that with all this, because to me, this insatiable appetite and stuff like that, I think there are a lot of problems that can come from that. And again, some people, that's what they want. Some people don't want to commit this. It's almost like, I call it restricted free agency. They with a person, but they still, you know
I get your premise, yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
what it is.
All right. So some of the comments, ERTs, 2 women. That's a lot of work. Someone is getting that gummy worm work. Oh my God. Damon, yes is in DC. I've been to all of them a long time ago. Long time. Yeah, back in the
2022
day.
Somebody tell D
Michelle
2022
Turner.
is not a long time ago.
Yeah.
Michelle Turner. Dad, I'm gonna just read the comments. That was what they asked me to do. Michelle Turner. Why would he want me to go to jail and him maimed? Oh damn. So she out here threatening lives. Narette, I'm selfish, territorial, and combat trained. It's a hard no. Respect. I mean, and I think it goes down to the point where there are people who are comfortable in those situations. There are people who are completely uncomfortable with it, right? And I think it's an interesting topic. But what that man described is very specific. And if that's something that people like, that's a
my ego wouldn't be able to take nothing like that. My ego wouldn't be able to take nothing like that. Someone looking over at the woman you with and somebody pounded her out. It just don't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
And Kelvin, you gotta go home and hug her and kiss her goodnight.
Yeah, it's like remind me of the dudes that be talking about they married to porn stars and stuff like that. I'm like,
oh no.
I don't understand how they do that. Like, I don't understand how you do that. Like,
you got to remember, there's a lot of damaged people out there. There's a lot of damaged people.
We shouldn't label them though. I would say this: we shouldn't label them damaged because we don't agree or understand.
No. But what he's saying is there are a lot of damaged people out there, and a lot of them in that industry have said they were damaged by the suicide rates, stuff like that.
That is true. He didn't say all that. He didn't say all that.
He didn't say everybody was damaged. He said there's a lot of damaged people.
You're great at cleaning it up. You bat forth.
But there are a lot of damaged people.
That's your position on the team.
No, but there's a lot of damage. It's true or false? There are a lot of damaged people out there.
Huh?
Are you saying there's not damaged people out there?
No, I was commenting on your statement. I'm not disagreeing with you in any way. I was saying your statement was there's a lot of damaged people. These people are damaged. And it's like that's labeling the individuals as damaged. We don't know these people. We don't know what they like or what they've been through.
Well, we don't know everybody, but
it may not be for me.
When you've heard people respond and comment as to why they do what they do, especially in the adult industry, we can discern that if they're saying they're damaged and they've had this trauma, which is why they're in the situation or where they're at in their lives right now, that's fact based. So it's not really.
Some of them say it, but not all of them. So
well, you can't just with every situation you can say some of them, not all of them. So I mean that's really a false.
So you
false
should
narrative.
say some of them, not all of them.
No, I did say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, if you watching some 10 dudes pound your wife out, I'm sorry.
Okay, let's switch this up for a second.
I didn't say I was into it. I'm just trying to speak to the point.
You did say it without saying it. We know what's going on behind that microphone now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the man with bullet holes in his. What you got going on behind there?
I'm working. I'm at work.
What type of job are you in?
This is not my house. This is I'm in a bunker in Manhattan.
I want to talk about one
last
thing.
Bunker. That's where
random thing in the world is also the most important thing in the world.
What's up, dude?
The most important thing of the show, Cracker Barrel. All right, let's talk about that for a second.
Oh my God!
It's random. All right, you know what I'm saying? Listen, Cracker Barrel has a code word for black people. Did we know about that before? All right, what are our thoughts on Cracker Barrel?
Yes, man? The natives. I got the same code word.
Okay, Cracker Barrel has what?
Cracker Barrel has a code word for black people when they come in. It's like the way we do it is we say "coo" over the radio. We tell the basically the back staff that there's black people here. That
Okay, Cracker Barrel has.
Did she say cool?
When we go out of town, we love Cracker Barrel.
Sounded like she said, "Oh my God!"
Sounded like she said "coon."
Right. It sounded like she said "coon."
But that ain't no code word. That's obvious.
Pretty much.
No, I mean, like, how's that a code?
Like,
coon. Oh, okay.
Can we get the transcript? But it sounded like coon. That ain't no code word. You're absolutely right.
And with us, if we hear it, if it's close enough, it's gonna be an altercation out there talking about something.
You damn right. I hear that come out of
right. That's what I'm saying.
Racist restaurant chain with great food. They'll never change. All right. So who's still going to Cracker Barrel knowing you getting called coon in the back? Raise your hand.
I don't know if I'm getting called coon. She looks like she's on meth anyway. She looks like she's a meth addict anyway.
I ain't getting called coon though. All right.
Well, you wouldn't know it though.
Huh?
They
Or
calling
you got some
coon
banging
in
ass
the back.
breakfast.
Listen,
Are you
let me
walking
tell
in
you
the
something.
Cracker Barrel? You
They
like, let me
doing
get a
sign
picture.
language.
Shit, Cracker Barrel, you walking in a damn supermarket, you call the coon in the back. You don't know if
So
So
you
you
just ain't
just
giving
so
up. You just ain't giving it up, Devin.
I'm
you
not giving them Cracker Barrel either. I like Cracker Barrel.
Damn it.
so they like the
They
food
got good
so
biscuits.
much. The chicken and watermelon is too
Wait,
great. It's too
you ain't gonna
strong
listen.
I don't know if
to
they serve chicken
deny.
and watermelon.
Look,
They must. They
I'm
must.
just
I would be
talking trash.
disappointed if they
But
don't.
look, I expect you stick to your guns. Look, it is
oh
what it
man.
is.
Listen, let's wrap up. Listen, Jamie, give me some more of these late comments, man, from the last clip about Kylie, man. But we got some poly clips here.
Chicken and watermelon.
Michelle Turner, Calvin House got pompous grass.
This is
Okay.
not my house, y'all. This is not my house.
Demond, not true. Maybe an ATL because them dudes is left-handed down there. Dudes wear heels and lash. Oh my God.
That's a
Good
fact.
Can
anyway.
I get a pre-scroll, please? LaPonda at Demond. The DMV spots be out recruiting. Sis tried to invite me while I was in the produce section at Wegmans. Oh God.
Oh my.
LP,
my.
they out there trying you. Demond, there's no dry stitching, Ray.
I'm sorry. Hey, real quick, fellas, let me take 2 seconds to do something real quick. Anybody listening, please, if you don't mind, go to Instagram and look up Jewelry by Shauna Denise and support my wife in her jewelry business.
I owe her too. I owe her too. I promise you.
Yeah,
If I
we missed
really-
you
I'm-
at the Circle
Right.
of Sisters.
Because I pulled up and saw my people. I said I turned right around. But what I'm gonna do for y'all, I'm gonna definitely. I promise y'all, Ray. I promise y'all we get something. Definitely.
Appreciate
I promise
you,
you. No doubt. No doubt.
Hey man,
Let's do that this
listen.
week. Let's do that this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. We had another great one, man. We're gonna wrap this up, man. We really shout out once again to our brother D, man. You know,
Shout out to D, man.
And our love and respect and honor to your family and especially
Moms.
moms,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Prayers and everything and thoughts going
Prayers
on
to
with her,
mom.
man. You know what I'm saying? Give her a big hug and a kiss from Let's Chop It Up and everybody watching. So
Thank
on
you,
that
fellas.
note, everybody, y'all know what to do. If you're listening, like, comment, subscribe, you know, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see us, wherever you can find us, just hook us up and tell a friend to tell a friend. On that note, we're going to say peace.
Good
All
job,
right?
Derek.
Go clap
Good job,
cheeks.
Derek.
Go clap cheeks. That's my sign off.
There you go.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Ladies.